The famous actor producer Johnny Owen on to talk Wales and Gareth Bale. What about that story today? I'm sure you've covered it with a potential loan move to Manchester United. We'll be speaking to that, and we're hoping to check in with the main man himself, Max.
Because in terms of embarrassing ourselves by way of football knowledge, the football again will remain.
Oh, that's great. Nothing makes me shout at the radio more than that.
Staring into the distance when someone's
quiet and cosy in a place that's just yours. For the choice, the convenience, or simply better, or simply because it's better value, Booking.com makes finding accommodation easy. Live curious and do what millions of people around the world do. Find the perfect accommodation at Booking.com. Let's make it happen. None for two after the opening over. Pat Cummins delivered it in somewhat of a small surprise. It wasn't Mitchell Starc, but Mitchell Starc to bowl the second over. As on our monitors we see the recognisable features of Virat Kohli, the very relaxed looking Indian captain, watching on from the balcony at the Oval. Of course, he'll be in at the fall of the first wicket. Mitchell Starc, quickest player in history to 150 ODI wickets, a milestone he brought up just a few days ago against the West Indies. He's in for his first ball of the match to the left-hander Shikhar, who works it casually off his hip towards mid-wicket, and they gallop through for a quick single. India 3 without loss.
Well, it'd be interesting to see if Mitchell Starc swings the ball. It was 140 clicks, so he's into his work straight away. He obviously got 5 in the first game, and Australia have obviously gone unchanged, but they'll need him to get early wickets. That's going to be the key for Australia today, to contain this powerful Indian batting lineup. And when I mean powerful, listeners, if India get going, they can score big runs and quickly, especially in the last sort of 15 overs, Hodgie.
5 for 46, Mitchell Starc against the West Indies. Did damage at the top of the order and then cleaned up the tail. He's on the runway again, past umpire Gaffaney to Rohit Sharma, who's watching and leaving a ball angled across the right-hander. And again, Alex Carey has taken that around shin height.
Well, these two score at a good clip. And, if you don't get wickets in that first 10 or 15 overs, as you're saying, Darren, it becomes very, very ugly. They bat deep, they bat big. And I think that, for Mitchell Starc, I think it would have done him a world of good the other day, collecting those clumps of wicket. I thought he was fantastic, and he'll be very dangerous in the middle periods as well as the death if Finchie can use him in that role.
Mitchell Starc in again and drifts onto the pads, and Rohit Sharma was almost caught. A spectacular leap to his right at mid-wicket by Nathan Coulter-Nile. He did get his right mid on it. It would have been an astonishing catch. They've actually run 2, but an incredible leap high to his right by Nathan Coulter-Nile, as it was almost bunted by Rohit Sharma. He actually got a good piece of it when we watched the replay. So Rohit Sharma, as difficult as it was, gets a life on 2.
It's a great effort. He's almost taken that. They're the sort of chances in World Cup. I mean, he had a dream game last game, Nathan Coulter-Nile. That would have just capped it off a great start to the second game here.
India none for 5. Starc in again, and Rohit Sharma is just dabbing gently towards mid-on, and such was the softness of the shot that they can scamper through for a single, 6 without loss.
Well, smart cricket from Rohit Sharma. Just after you've, may have fallen the ball before, just get yourself up the other end, just relax into the game. Yeah, it's a fantastic effort by Nathan Coulter-Nile. He's a good athlete, Nathan Coulter-Nile. Good with the ball, bat, fields well. Nearly stuck.
He timed his jump perfectly, and it would have been an astonishing take. He's still shaking his head in disappointment, but I think he's being a little harsh on himself. But as you both said, he is such an amazing athlete. Starc in again, left armer to left-hander, and he strikes Shikhar on the thigh pad. It rolls backward of square, and they trot through for a single. 7 without loss with 1 ball remaining in the second over.
He is an unbelievable athlete, and I do know if Hodgie and I were fielding there, we were running to pick it up for a boundary.
What's funny is that looked athletically beautiful. The other night, Finchie made what was a pretty simple catch look devastatingly hard because he was so clumsy in the positions that he got. But yeah, it would have been 4, pick it up from the fence and throw it back to the bowler.
Yeah. Well, it would have rivaled Ben Stokes' catch, and of course Sheldon Cottrell the other night to dismiss Steve Smith was something out of this world. Stark in again, and Rohit's trying to swing him away behind square, thunders into the thigh pad and drops at the batsman's feet. So at the end of the second over, BizCover scoreboard, bizcover.com.au, Australia's online small business insurance specialists. India having won the toss, batting first, none for 7.
Well, not a lot of pace in the wicket from the first couple of overs from Stark and obviously Cummins, so it's going to be key to get early wickets somehow. They're going to have to find a way. It might be a day where they have to go cross-seam early here, Hodgie. They might have to go to spin in the first 10 overs. They might have to chop and change every couple of overs just to keep troubling the bat, giving the batsmen something else to think about.
Yeah, I thought that's where Finch's captaincy was outstanding last game. He just seemed to be on top or reading the play really well, and he was able to mix his bowlers around. They didn't let the West Indies players get settled, who like to have a lot of look at some balls so they can actually play their power game. Different proposition today. No swing. You have to use a lot of cutters, as you mentioned, cross seam, a lot of variations. It's going to be an intriguing battle. So far, it looks pretty good for batting.
Cummins begins over number 3, and Shikhar is defending back down the line. The bowler does the fielding in his follow-through. Shikhar 1 from 3. Rohit Sharma 5 from 10. There's 1 extra. India none for 7 after 13 deliveries.
Just going back to that catch the other night from Cottrell, the sergeant. It was a pretty good catch, wasn't it? I mean, obviously a great catch.
Yeah.
There's been a lot made of it, isn't there? I mean, it was a fantastic catch, and don't get me wrong, but if he took him when Steve Smith was 20 and just ran in and caught it, he wouldn't have been able to do that catch, and they probably would have won the game.
What are you alluding to there, Buff? You're suggesting that maybe wasn't as good a catch as an edge from Shikhar, but it's wide, a second slip. He was squared up by Cummins. It scoots down to third man. Stark does the fielding and keeps it to a single, none for 8.
I think he's alluding to that it was absolute pot luck that it stuck in the hand of Sheldon Cottrell.
Oh, I'm alluding to it was a great catch, but he shouldn't have had the chance to do it. If he just ran in the hook shot, fine leg on when Steve Smith was 20 and actually took the proper catch, Steve Smith wouldn't have got 70 and we wouldn't have made 280.
Yeah,
so
he made a meal of a simple chance.
Simple chance.
Took an amazing
and he's been a hero with a one-hander. People
which
forget
was
that,
travelling.
I mean, great catch.
I think why it was such a great catch because it was such a good shot by Steve Smith as well. It absolutely screamed out of the bat.
But people forget about it, don't they? They forget about that other, that hook shot. That was a running catch out. Steve Smith's out. Yeah. Australia game 7 for 150, game over.
Speaking of the bat, umpire Chris Gaffaney helping Rohit Sharma with some running repairs to his blade. We're ready to go again now. And Rohit settles over the bat and waits for Cummins, who's with him. He's defending down to mid-on and Finch, and there was no chance of a run.
You know, what you can clearly see at the moment is two different... where two different batters are at the moment, where Shikhar looks to be a fraction jumpy at the crease. Rohit Sharma, perfectly balanced, great deal of time. As we just have a look at the strip being replayed on the TV, and it looks an absolute belter, actually. Absolute beauty.
It does look like it's got a few foot marks, though, which will play into the...
Rohit Sharma now, who's cutting away behind point and brilliantly fielded on the bounce by Maxwell. That was travelling, but the big show with those clean hands. He fielded that effortlessly, and in fact David Warner has run all the way from mid-off to give his teammate a high five, stopped a certain boundary.
You've got to respect how good actually Maxwell is in the field. He took a great catch the other night. I think it was Jason Holder that he dismissed. You know, those little moments where Big Show can let himself down. We all know that from time to time in certain areas, but in the field he's absolute gun.
Cummins in again. And Rohit Sharma's edging wide, a second slip. It'll race down to third man. Zampa does the fielding, and they take just a single. So Cummins finding the outside edge of both openers' bats in this, the third over of the match.
Well, that says to me one thing. It's not a lot of pace in the wicket because both those nicks haven't carried. They're legitimate nicks. On a pacey wicket, that would go to Steve Smith at second slip, no dramas whatsoever. So it's going to be a case of, maybe the second slip's got to go to a floater and spread out a little bit and try and take that really half chance.
Last ball of the third over. Shikhar on 2, back on strike. Rohit Sharma has 6. India none for 9. Cummins with Shikhar, who just drops it quietly away on the offside. He thought of a quick single, but Stoinis with great game awareness, charged in from close to the edge of the circle and prevented a run. End of the over after 3. Biz cover scoreboard, India, none for 9.
Introducing New South Wales Trustee and Guardian, the state's largest will maker. Our experts can help you make or update your will and then store it for you too. With our flexible consultations, you can start the process online, call us, or simply drop into one of our 9 offices throughout New South Wales. We make preparing a will easy. While some things have changed over the years, others remain the same for a good reason. New South Wales Trustee and Guardian, writing wills for ages. Start your will today. Visit tag.nsw.gov.au or call 1300 10 20 30. For fees and charges, please see our website.
Mitchell Starc operating from the northern or pavilion end at the Oval. Starts over number 4 of this big clash against India, and Rohit Sharma, again with all the time in the world, minimal footwork, and just dabs it defensively down to Warner at mid-off, and there is no run. Brad Hodge, Darren Lehman and Bruce Eva with you on Macquarie Sports Radio's World Cup coverage, courtesy of Booking.com. Booking.com, let's make it happen.
And remember, listeners, you can call 13 12 83 at half-time to lunchtime to ask your questions, but also the Twitter handle at Macquarie Sports. Fire something through to Brad Hodge and Bruce Eva and myself, and we'll try and get through those questions during the call.
Darren Chuck Berry and Bobby Quiney about to join the commentary team as to the next delivery. Rohit Sharma just glides it down to third man and Cummins for virtually a walked single by the Indian opening pair, and it's 10 without loss.
Yeah, it's actually a nice line that Mitchell Starc's got there. He's realised that there's not a lot of swing, but he's still remaining very tight on Rohit Sharma. He's just got to be careful not to drift on the pad so he can play that pick-up shot, that he can scoop over that 45. He plays particularly well, but yeah, I like that. Just try and keep it consistent on the off stump.
Well, they haven't overpitched so far, have they? He hasn't tried to swing it like he did the first couple of games. He's actually pulled his length back on this type of wicket. Cloud
cover increasing. Starc charges in, and that's a shortish delivery. The first genuine short ball we've seen. Shikhar just dropped the hands to make sure the gloves were out of the line of the missile as it fizzed through to Alex Carey. No shot was offered.
Yeah, it's good pace. Saw a good carry through to Carey there in the slips, 149 kilometres an hour. His pace has been up since the start of this World Cup, which has been fantastic for the Australians and Mitchell Starc as well. Getting the mantle back to the best player in the household. Trying to wrestle it back anyway.
He's not getting that back.
Right thumb heavily bandaged, small white towel flapping out the back of his strides. Mitchell Starc does stride and goes to Yorker. Shikhar lost it, in fact, as he dug it out and was then looking behind him as if an inside edge had squirted towards fine leg, and it was actually rolling straight back to the bowler, and Shikhar had taken off, was a good metre or so out of his crease before sensing the danger and retreating to safety.
Well, it was bizarre why he was thinking that there was going to be a single there. He was looking down the fine leg. The ball was shot off towards mid-off. Would have been a sharp chance if Starc had just released the ball.
2 balls remaining in the 4th over. India none for 10. Starc to Shikhar, and he thrashes him square of the wicket. Maxwell knocks it down to prevent what would have been a certain boundary. It ricochets down to third man, and they take just a single. Shikhar to 3, 11 without loss.
Well, that's the skill that we were talking about just previously, where Maxwell, as you mentioned, would have been a definite boundary. He was slashed away by Shikhar, and that's his strength. Any sort of width on offer, he can pound you through backward of point and also the cover region. But nice tight work from Maxwell to prevent those runs and just keep the pressure on early. The Australians are just keeping it tight.
Rohit Sharma just 13 runs away from 2,000 against Australia in ODI cricket. Short of a length, the final ball of the Starc over, and Rohit got all jammed up trying to force it out through mid-wicket, dropped at his feet, and there is no run. None for 11 after 4 on the Biz Cover scoreboard. And whether you're following our Aussie cricketers around the world or just heading for a weekend away, wherever you go, you'll need somewhere to stay. And the easiest way to find the perfect place is with Booking.com. Hotels, homes, city apartments. Booking.com can get you close to the action or help you find somewhere quiet and cosy in a place that's just yours. For the choice, the convenience, or simply because it's better value, Booking.com makes finding accommodation easy. Live curious and do what millions of people around the world do. Find the perfect accommodation at Booking.com. Let's make it happen. Pat Cummins begins over number 5, and Shikhar takes him off his pads wide of Aaron Finch at mid-on. They'll take one and come back for a comfortable 2. 13 without loss. That's the most authentic shot that Shikhar has played to date. He moves to 5.
Well, he's got an outstanding record in all Cricket World Cups and Champions Trophies, Shikhar, but the Indian team will be a little bit nervous about his form lately. That was one of the talking points about, when Australia won that series in India, about whether KL Rahul can move up to opening. But they stick with Shikhar.
Cummins in again, and Shikhar squared up in defence, just dabs it back down the line. Once more, Cummins does his own fielding.
And he actually had a pretty good IPL, Shikhar, which was impressive, because he started off the tournament very slow, very sluggishly. Wasn't striking the ball above 100, and I think Ricky Ponting was starting to get fraction aggressive in the dugout watching Shikhar. But fair credit to him, he turned it around and became an absolute destructive player at the top for the Delhi Capitals.
We can play, they're bowling tight lines, so they don't want to free their arms with someone like Dhawan.
Pat Cummins bowling from the southern or Vauxhall end, and goes right through Shikhar, who was looking to take a ball angled across the left-hander and whip it out through mid-wicket. Lucky not to get a leading edge, let alone a fine little tickle through to Alex Carey, or one of the 2 slips. And that was a poor shot trying to flick across the line.
It was a good ball, but Shikhar looking to play the ball through square leg and mid-wicket. Should have probably been played back down the surface, straight back past mid-off. Just bounced a little bit extra. It was a full pitch from Cummins.
I'm loving your pronunciation of Shikhar.
Why is that?
Just say it again.
Shikhar.
Cummins in again, shortish ball, and Darwin's hopping in defence. Might have caught a little bit of glove or the splice of the bat, but he did get over the top of it, and it rolls harmlessly towards the slip cordon.
He's based here. Sorry,
I was just going to say that. We can class him as a Victorian. He has residency out there in Narre Warren. His wife is from here, born here, so I think he enjoys his time here, there's no doubt. Might get him to East Sandringham for a couple of games. If we're a bit short of an opener. Why not?
Could do with him up at East Burwood.
You boys are all ran out of cash, I think.
So Cummins bowling his 3rd over. India none for 13. He over pitches, and Shikhar blasts him through the covers for a boundary. And that is Buff A.
Shot of the day, thanks to Booking.com. First time we've said it today, Bruce, but it was a ripper shot on the up. Timed it beautifully. That's his strength, when he doesn't try and hit it too hard and hits it through covers. And it's a quick outfield here. You're not stopping those ones.
None for 17, and Shikhar goes past Rohit Sharma. He moves to 9, and you're right, he didn't try and overhit that. It was just the placement, wasn't it? And this quick outfield, it raced to the rope.
It was gorgeous. Just elegantly just pushed through the covers, and as we know, once you get under that surface, it's 4.
Last ball of the Cummins over. More runs here. Well, just a single as Shikhar takes Cummins off his pads behind square, and they trot through for 1. Commentary change coming up. Bobby Quiney and Darren Chuck Berry about to join you on the BizCover scoreboard after 5. India, none for 18.
What's happening, Troy? We're meant to finish this job today.
Sorry, Gav. The ute's broken down, the job site's flooded, the power's out, and it's getting dark.
Gee, any good news?
Well, I've got the number for Kennard's Hire.
No matter how big your problem, Kennard's Hire has got you covered.
Here you go, mate. Pump, generator, work lights, and the utes in the drive. Anything else?
Yeah, maybe some aromatherapy candles to relax the boss?
When you're in a fix, don't sweat it. Kennard's Hire it.
Kennard's make your job easy.
Welcome back to our coverage, Macquarie Sports Radio. Darren Berry in the chair. Stark's in, full leg side, worked off. Might have been a leg by, in fact. Coulter-Nile does the fielding. So India move to none for 19. Bobby Quiney in the house for the first time tonight and the first time during this World Cup. Welcome, Bobby, to yourself.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm pretty excited. As excited as the Aussie boys in the national anthem. They certainly were a lot perkier than the Indian side, so I don't know if that means anything in the result of the game, but they were more enjoyable singing their anthems.
Very much so. Steady start by India. Previous over, you heard Bruce Eva call a beautiful cover dive by Shikhar as Brad Hodge is really working hard on his pronunciation tonight. Rohit Sharma's on strike now. What a fine player this man is. Stark is in on his pads and he works it through square leg. He'll get at least 2.
Zampa comes around from fine leg to do the fielding, launches back, and they amble back for 2 runs. So Darren Lehman and Bobby Quiney in the special comments chair, and Bruce Eva and myself, Darren Berry, to call the ball-by-ball action. ICC World Cup, this is big tonight. We thought West Indies and Australia was big, but Darren Lehman, it doesn't get much bigger than India versus Australia.
No, not the Oval. You see the sea of blue. It's pretty like MCG when Australia play India. The crowd, they love the game. They just religion to them, so they come from everywhere. So big crowd.
Sun shining in the south of London. Stark, so good the other night, on the money again, but Sharma just has so much time. The key element of all the great players, they seem to have more time than the average Joe. Bobby Quiney, and Rohit Sharma is one of those.
Well, it looks like he's got heaps of time on a quick wicket, and you're looking at this, and it looks, as you said previously, it's a touch slower. I hope it doesn't affect with a big score, because I'd love to see like a 330 player, a 333, and the Aussies get over the line. But I wonder if reverse swing might come into play towards the back end. I know there's 2 new balls, but we talked about cross seamers and how that comes into play.
Mitchell Starc will be left arm over the wicket to Rohit Sharma on strike. Into the pitch he goes. Sharma defends into the offside. Stoinis fields and returns to carry no run.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Bobby. I think reverse swing will play a part definitely late in the innings for both teams. There's a big wicket square at the Oval for our listeners there. It goes right across the ground base. There must be 35, 36 wickets on this Oval. So, and they use them to train before the games there. So you normally have 3 or 4 drive wickets, and then you have a wicket either side. So there's a lot of areas where they'll probably throw the ball and it runs across. So cross seamers, cutters, and we'll start to get some reverse as the game goes on.
You certainly get value for your shots as you speak, Bobby. We see Starc coming in cross seam right now. Bangs it into the pitch, and Sharma pushes it to mid-off. So quite often Starc, if there's not early swing, Bobby, you and I were talking off air about it, let's bring it on air. If he doesn't swing that ball early, he quite often goes to cross seam. Yeah,
and uses his angle. You can see what Buff was saying earlier about taking that second slip out and putting it like a bit of a fine gully or a 4th slip and you can set fields to that style of play, but you just got to be careful you don't get too straight or too wide, and you've still got to hit some really good areas. But as you see there, that gully with the 3rd man, so you're just hoping that a big drive on the up and maybe go to one of those 2 men, the slip or the gully.
So the Australians have got 1 slip and a gully in place. Man patrolling the 3rd man boundary. Outside off. Again, slow wicket. Sharma shaped to cut that one, but there was no pace on it at the end of the 6th over. We'll continue, boys. None for 21, the Indians, but it is decidedly slow, Darren.
Yeah, very slow. It might not be as high scoring as we normally expect at the Oval. You're expecting a game, like you said before, Bobby, where it's 330 plays 333. And having said that, if one team can get 300 on a slow wicket, it's probably India. But they'd like to have the ball come on these days, so it'll be interesting to see how they play that. It's quite slow. It'll be interesting to see how we mix and match our bowlers. I think we're going to have to use spin quite a lot. Be prepared to bring them on early. I think Glenn Maxwell should bowl early to Shikhar Dhawan, definitely. He struggled against the off-spin before. Rohit Sharma can play it very well, but I think you've got to be prepared, Aaron Finch, to chop and change like he did in the first game.
So Pat Cummins, the big Australian, quick to continue. Thumps the ball into the wicket. Darwin with plenty of time, squirts it to point, no run. Bobby, we were speaking again, now you and I, just out the back in preparation, and we heard Darren and Brad and Beaver talking about both sides unchanged. We thought that Nathan Lyon may have come in, although you said with all the right-handers you would have definitely stayed with Zampa. Any thought of 2 spinners for you tonight?
The only reason that I'd say no is because I think they utilise Glenn Maxwell quite a bit. He bowls anywhere between 4 to 7 overs a game, I think, and particularly in the first 10, like Buff alluded to, that you could throw him the ball early and not so much protect Adam Zampa, but he can bowl through and control the middle overs.
Cummins again, now to Darwin, works it into the leg, no run. Square leg gets around very quickly. That was Coulter-Nile, and there was a bit of talk in the media, at least in Melbourne today, Bobby, that maybe Coulter-Nile, even though he got 92 the other night was the difference, he hasn't taken a wicket in his first 2 games, that perhaps he could have been left out for Nathan Lyon. And we were watching a little bit of television before we went to air, and there was a bit of speculation that a few of the experts thought Lyon in. It wasn't to be, unchanged.
Yeah, and particularly towards the death, I guess they've seen him to be bowling towards the back end with Stoinis and Starc, and unfortunately for Coulter-Nile, it just didn't really pan out for him the last couple of games.
So midway through the 6th over, Cummins in again, thumps it into the wicket at the Oval. Darwin. Gee, both these batsmen look very much at ease, Darren, on this wicket. No pace is troubling him at the moment.
Yeah, it's interesting on Nathan Lyon because you got to pick for conditions. Now, this wicket's a used wicket, and I think it's going to spin. Then you've got two quality spinners, and if Maxwell does spin it, he's not a big turn of the ball, but if he does spin it, then I think we may have missed a trick because it's a big ground, the Oval. It is quite a big ground, so Nathan Lyon's got a bit of protection there.
Yep.
And even though they've got a lot of right-handers, you can control it. He's such a good bowler, he could pick up a couple of wickets.
I think the
right or left.
Here comes Cummins again. Short ball, pull shot shape, appeal for caught behind. Umpire Gunnar Gould says not out. We might have a listen and see whether... No upstairs, so Darwin went to pull. There was definitely something as it went past the DRS timer. Aaron Finch not interested, so we won't go to the review. We'll get the beauty of the replay.
Well, I'm going to say that might have touched the glove.
I heard something. I definitely heard something.
Definitely a noise.
It wasn't my neck.
We'll have a look now. Into the wicket, short and hard. Darwin shapes to pull, and it might have just flicked his back arm. So we were right with the noise, but no bat on that one. Flicked his bat arm. Alex Carey saying no, I don't think so. Let's see what Cummins' follow-up is. Into the wicket again. A little fuller. Darwin squirts to the leg and gets through for a quick single. Captain Finch fields and gets it back into Carey.
It was great communication there, Chuck, wasn't it? Because you always trust the keeper, don't you? Buff, I was just going to ask you something. Now, when it comes to the conditions and the pitches, were you like running at about 90% when you went to the ground? You go, do you know what? This is going to be dry. This is going to turn. Yep. Tick. Did you miss the trick sometimes when you were involved?
Oh, you always miss a trick. You always make mistakes as a coach or a player or a captain. But I think you've just got to play the conditions and the team you're playing. So they're probably hoping Glenn Maxwell can do that job anyway and not use, because they haven't got as many left-handers. But Nathan Lyon's such a good bowler. If it spins big, he's a weapon.
Last ball of the 7th over. Rohit Sharma on strike. Cummins on the money. Pushes to the off. No run taken. That will complete the 7th over. Steady start without getting out of the blocks fast. India after 7 on the Biz Cover scoreboard and none for 22.
Jill, I need your help. My neighbour Betty, she's alone in the world and needs an aged care home here in Liverpool, and I want to be able to visit her.
Harry, you need agecare101.com.au. It lists all 17 nursing homes within 6 kilometres of Liverpool. To really help Betty, you need to understand the paperwork, money and time it takes to get a bed, and what you can do as a friend. Find a home and educate yourself at agecare101.com.au. It's your 101 for aged care.
India none for 22 after 7 overs, so Australia's searching for a breakthrough. We might have our first bowling change here. Nathan Coulter-Nile is coming into the attack. The star with the bat the other night hasn't taken a wicket in the opening 2 games, so he'd be desperate tonight. This wicket might suit him, not quite as fast. He's done pretty well in India. Sounds strange for a fast bowler, but sometimes the slower decks, Coulter-Nile doesn't mind. He's in for his first, and Darwin pushes in to the strong offside field and can't pierce it. No run.
I wonder, looking at the last game, whether that it was a plan to bowl Shaun, he didn't execute too well, or was he going away from the team's plan? Because he looked quite frustrated, got hit around, but it looks like it was a plan to bowl short at the West Indies, exactly what they did to the Australians, and it just didn't quite come off.
Yeah, I think he's a very good new ball bowler. He swings the ball normally, so you've got Cummins and Stark. It's a tough one. Maybe he's better to take it new ball.
He's in again, but Darwin pushes into the offside. That's a good call, but it's always hard, but for me, I would probably go Mitchell Stark and Coulter-Nile with the new ball, and then Cummins bashing it into the wicket first change, for me.
Well, I don't disagree with that, Chuck, at all. I think he's such a new ball bowler, and he swings it he's got a good shape on it, where Cummins can bowl anywhere. He's a superstar.
Yep.
Let's face it, he's a gun. But if he does, I suppose they're saying, well, if Cummins does swing it, it's just another tick. It's really hard to face.
Correct.
So, but the matchups, if they're going to play him, I think they're probably going to see him with a new ball, I think.
2 dots to start his spell this evening, Coulter-Nile. Darwin advances down the wicket and smacks him straight back past mid-off. It races away to the boundary here at the Oval. And India move to none for 26. Darwin shows some intent.
Well, shot of the day thanks to Booking.com. He took the risk. It's the first real aggressive shot we've seen from him, dancing down the wicket. So he's got time there because it's quite slow, and he's trying to make pace on the ball there. Flat bat back past the umpire in mid-off.
Didn't really get it, but still went for 4.
This is a dry surface and not a lot of pace. Coulter-Nile under fire. Darwin wobbles around. Coulter-Nile followed him and bowls a wide down the leg side. So starting, I think the Indians know, Bobby Quiney, that they haven't got off to the start that they would have liked, and they're just starting to push the button a bit at the minute.
But I think they also know that they didn't have to take any risks at the start. The 2 danger men for Australia were Stark and Cummins. They've seen off Stark now, and I reckon they're targeting Coulter-Nile. He's the one that they're going to go at. So you can see their intentions, third ball in with Shikhar Dhawan going at him. But, obviously just a bit wayward with the ball after.
Really looking forward to Adam Zampa tonight, because I think the Indians will take him on, and his response will be, I thought he bowled beautifully the other night. Probably didn't get all the rewards, but I thought he bowled nicely. So big test tonight. Darren Lehmann mentioned the boundaries a fraction bigger here at the Oval, so the spinners have got a little bit of real estate to work with. Coulter-Nile just conversing with the captain Aaron Finch. They're going to have a fielding change here, and third man's going to slide down for Dhawan, and fine leg's going to come up into the circle. So the 2 men in the deeper third man and deep backward square.
Good move. It's a slow wicket.
So Coulter-Nile in again wide. Dhawan crunches it through point. He went with the third man, but it didn't matter. That is a magnificent shot, Buff. What is that for?
That's shot of the day, thanks to Booking.com, Chucky. Yeah, that was a great shot. That's a left-hander's cut shot. That's money for jam there. If you're going to bowl there to Shikhar Dhawan, you're going to be in trouble. Now, they've made a change in the field. He needs to be a lot straighter there.
Yep.
And it was just too short. But that Shikhar Dhawan will just hit those for 4 every day of the week.
Beautiful shot. I'm in the commentary box with 2 southpaws, 2 men that liked a little bit of width. Lehmann in particular, he slaps again. This is going to be back-to-back boundaries again through the point region. So Coulter-Nile's lost his radar with the fielding change, Buff, and gone 2 wide on both occasions.
They have Booking.com are going to be very happy with this all day. How many are going to get 400, I reckon, at this rate? They've obviously decided to target Nathan Coulter-Nile, and just a little bit of width, but well placed. He's got beautiful hands through the ball, through the offside, and just a fraction short. You've got to be really tight to Shikhar Dhawan. You've got to get it on off-stump line.
So an interesting little period now. Dhawan is showing his intent. Coulter-Nile back-to-back boundaries, 3 in the over, in fact. This is a bit straighter. He still laces it through point. They'll get 1. They'll think about 2. Zampa fields, they only take the 1. So a very expensive over. Coulter-Nile's first over has gone for 14 at the end of the 8th. India, a none for 36. Bobby, that was a beautifully executed over by Shikhar Dhawan.
It was beautiful. They timed their run nicely. They put the pressure right back onto Coulter-Nile. I just wonder, like Buff was talking to, they move the field. We're going to bowl offside, but sometimes when you set an offside field, they bowl too wide of that, thinking they've got enough protection. But he's pierced that ball between 3 fielders, and those 3 fielders are within 20 metres of each other as well. So maybe they can plug a hole in one of those two of the 3 fielders. Gully can come closer to backward point and go, you know what, you've got 2 gaps now instead of 3.
The other thing, Darren Lehmann, and I'm pretty sure you coach Shikhar Dhawan in the IPL, yes?
Yep.
What about Coulter-Nile goes around the wicket just to take that width off the ball?
I'd be taking him off and bowling the off-spinner Glenn Maxwell.
Okay.
That's a bit harsh, I know, after 1 over, but I think they've obviously targeted Nathan Coulter-Nile. Get it right, get it tighter.
Cummins is in. Dhawan, that bumps up at him a little bit. The first time this evening where we've seen one jump off a length, and that's good to see from an Australian perspective, but we haven't seen much of it on this slow surface. So Darren Lehmann suggesting, okay, 1 over didn't go right. We're going to go to Maxwell. Bobby Quiney's thoughts?
Yeah, I think it depends on who he's bowling with as well. If someone's at the other end and leaking runs, it's probably not a great combo. So it might mean that you need Cummins to stay on another over while Coulter-Nile's bowling, or as Buff alluded to, take him off, go to spin, slow it down a lot more, and make them make the play, especially in the first 10.
That one troubled Dhawan. I'm interested in how he plays this delivery from Cummins, who bashes the wicket again. He's in behind it and squaring. Gets a little quick single to Stark at square leg, so they scamper through.
So he's bowling a lot tighter line. He's bowled a lot better line. Nathan Coulter-Nile a little bit wide. So I think the trick is to get Nathan, well, it depends on which end Maxwell wants to bowl, I suppose. That's the key. Because Nathan Coulter-Nile can swap around ends if they want to. He's going to have to bowl 10 overs. That's what he's in the side for. So you've got to find the best way. But I agree with you, Chuck. He can come round the wicket to bowl a straighter line to the left-hander.
Very dry surface. If you've just joined us on Macquarie Sports Radio, our coverage of the ICC World Cup match 14, it's a big one. Australia versus India. India Batting first, none for 37. Steady start. Cummins and Stark have not made a breakthrough. Cummins now to the right-handed Rohit Sharma. On line, but Sharma's so adept at just working the ball into the gap, gets one on the leg side. Khawaja does the fielding.
They're also bowling Cummins quite a bit in his early spell, but they want Cummins to bowl to Kohli, because that's the great matchup of the day. When Kohli comes in, you'll see Zampa come straight on. He's got him out probably 3 of the last 4 or 5 times. And then Cummins got him out a lot in the Test series here in Australia. So you want to take Cummins off to save him for Kohli. I know we've got to get a wicket, obviously, or Australia's got to get a wicket, I should say. But as soon as Kohli comes in, you're going to have Cummins and Zampa going at it. So you can't use him up too much. He's bowled 5 now. If he bowls another couple, he's only going to have a few at the back end of the innings.
I think Coulter-Nile's got a pretty good record against Kohli as well, but I wonder how that would affect his confidence. His confidence is down now, you can see, but then the captain comes up to you and goes, sorry mate, you're off, you know, you're not good enough. That's a level as well.
That's right, and I might be a bit harsh, lads. He should get another over. You know, that was just me.
Yeah, but maybe, we're talking about a World Cup. We're not talking about, you know, a series that's been played just for the sake of it. We're talking about, this is more than sheep stations, this.
Oh, it's nasty knock there, Chuck.
Shikhar Dhawan is in the hands of our Australian, well, not the Australian physio anymore, but Paddy Fingers Farhart's out there with the cold spray, and he looked a bit shaky, didn't he? We're just getting a replay of it here, and it just took his bottom hand in the thumb, and the thumb's the worst one when it hits because...
dangerous. Glenn Maxwell চেঞ্জে আসেন, উইকেট টেকিং বোলার আসেন এবং হঠাৎ করে একটা দুটো ঝটকা দিয়ে চলে যায়। কাজেই ম্যাক্সওয়েলকে একটু বুঝে খেলতে হবে, এটা কিন্তু মাথায় রাখতে হবে। একদম উইকেট টু উইকেট বল করে, অফ স্পিন বল করে, উইথ দেয়, ব্যাটসম্যানকে বাধ্য করে এবং ফ্লাইটে বিট করে। কাজেই গ্লেন ম্যাক্সওয়েলের কিন্তু এই ক্ষমতাটা রয়েছে, কাজেই তা সে ভয়ঙ্কর যেন না উঠতে পারে সেটা মাথায় রাখতে হবে। কাজেই দেখা যাক আজকে কি হয়। শিখর ধাওয়ান প্রস্তুত ওভারের পরবর্তী বল খেলার জন্য। প্যাট কামিন্স চলে আসছেন, এই ক্ষেত্রে কিন্তু শর্ট অফ লেন্থ ডেলিভারি, হালকা হাতে নামিয়ে খেললেন, কোনো রান হবে না, পয়েন্ট অঞ্চলে গেল। এটি চতুর্থ ম্যাচ পুরো বিশ্বকাপের এবং বিগত দিনে 2টি ম্যাচ হয়েছিল এবং একটা উত্তেজনাপূর্ণ ম্যাচের কিন্তু আজকে অপেক্ষায় আমরা রয়েছি। একটি বল, সেটা কিন্তু হঠাৎ করে লাফিয়ে উঠে আঙুলে চোট পেয়েছিলেন শিখর ধাওয়ান, তাই জন্য কিছুটা শুশ্রূষা নিয়ে তিনি আরও একবার মাঠের মধ্যে রয়েছেন। জয়দীপ লিখছে জাম্পা ভার্সেস বিরাট। আচ্ছা, এটা খুব সহজ হবে ব্যাপারটা, জাম্পা ভার্সেস বিরাট। যাই হোক, এই মুহূর্তে আরও একবার চলে আসেন বল করার জন্য সেই প্যাট কামিন্স। এক্ষেত্রে কিন্তু অনসাইডে ঘুরিয়ে খেলেছেন এবং বল বেরিয়ে যাচ্ছে, যতক্ষণে ফিল্ড হয়ে আসবে। একবার জায়গা বদল, ভারতীয় দলের স্কোর 39, কোনো উইকেট না হারিয়ে।
একদমই ভারতীয় দলের স্কোর এই মুহূর্তে 39-এ দাঁড়িয়ে এবং 26-এ ব্যাটিং করছেন এই মুহূর্তে শিখর ধাওয়ান। অন্যদিকে রোহিত শর্মা ব্যাটিং করছেন 10 রানে, অর্থাৎ দুজনের জুটিতে কিন্তু একটা অর্ধ-শতরানের একটা জুটি হতে চলেছে, সেটা কিন্তু প্রায় নিশ্চিত। এবং এই মুহূর্তে ভালো ব্যাটিং কিন্তু চলছে ধাওয়ান এবং রোহিত শর্মার তরফ থেকে। রোহিত শর্মা যদিও বেশ কিছুটা শান্ত, 23টি বল খেলে ফেলেছেন, 10টি রান করেছেন মাত্র। পরবর্তী বলের ক্ষেত্রে প্যাট কামিন্সের, এবারেও কিন্তু নামিয়ে খেললেন রোহিত শর্মা, রক্ষণাত্মক ভঙ্গিতে খেলে দিলেন। 9 ওভার শেষে কোনো উইকেট না হারিয়ে 39 এই মুহূর্তে ভারত।
One station filled with full football fever.
Thinks about the shot, will go for it and will plant an absolute cracker into the corner to put the icing on what is a very sweet tasting cake for Manchester City.
And you are just one click away.
Sergio Aguero. Oh, that's vicious! Unstoppable!
Download Sports Flashes app or visit www.sportsflashes.com. Sports Flashes, world's biggest sports radio channel. Sports Flashes. You are listening to Sports Flashes live. Sports Flashes, world's biggest sports radio channel. You are listening to Sports Flashes live.
Dhoni finishes off in style. A magnificent strike into the crowd. India lift the World Cup. Pulls it back. Here's Ronaldo for the hat-trick. And Cristiano Ronaldo does it again.
Sports Flashes, world's biggest sports radio channel. You are tuned into Sports Flashes Radio.
কাজে দশম ওভারের খেলা শুরু হয়ে যাচ্ছে এবং নেথন কুল্টারনাইল তিনি চলে আসছেন বল করার জন্য। ওভারের প্রথম বল শিখার ধাওয়ানের জন্য রক্ষণাত্মক ভঙ্গিমায় খেললেন এবং বিগত ওভারে চোট পাওয়ার পর কিছুটা হলেও শিখার ধাওয়ান যেন গুটিয়ে গেছে, কি মনে হচ্ছে?
একদমই, এবং অস্ট্রেলিয়া তো এটাই চাইবে যে কোনোভাবে আঘাত করা এক্ষেত্রে ভারতীয় ব্যাটসম্যানদের। তবে শিখার ধাওয়ান যে ধরনের ব্যাটসম্যান খুব তাড়াতাড়ি কিন্তু ফিট হয়ে ফিরবেন। এই মুহূর্তে কিন্তু সেলিব্রেশন চলছে বলা যেতে পারে কেনিংটন ওভালে। পরবর্তী বল খুব সুন্দর করে কিন্তু দিশা দিয়ে দিলেন এক্ষেত্রে এবং একটি রান চলে আসবে 39 রানে এই মুহূর্তে ভারত 10 রানে। রোহিত শর্মা 27 রানে এই মুহূর্তে। শিখার ধাওয়ান মাত্র 32টি বল এখন অব্দি ফেস করছেন শিখার ধাওয়ান এবং ভারতীয় ক্রিকেট সমর্থকরা কিন্তু যাবতীয় সরঞ্জাম নিয়ে এসেছে আজকের ম্যাচটাকে সেলিব্রেট করার জন্য। এবং অবশ্যই গতকাল ক্লাইভ লয়েড বলেছেন এটা ওয়ান অফ দ্য বেস্ট ম্যাচেস হতে চলেছে এই বিশ্বকাপে। দেখা যাক আজকে ভারত অস্ট্রেলিয়ার এই যুদ্ধ কে শেষ হাসি হাসে এই মুহূর্তে। অবশ্যই পুরোপুরি প্যাকড আপ কেনিংটন ওভাল এবং অবশ্যই পার্টিয়াট ওভাল প্ল্যাকার্ড ঝুলছে এই মুহূর্তে। 40 রানে ভারত কোনো উইকেট না হারিয়ে 27 রানে, যেখানে শিখার ধাওয়ান 10 রানে। রোহিত শর্মা এই মুহূর্তে স্ট্রাইকে রয়েছেন, অত্যন্ত বুঝে ব্যাটিং করছেন এবং অবজার্ভ করছেন এই মুহূর্তে। কুল্টারনাইল পরবর্তী বল এবারে কিন্তু খুব সুন্দর করে ড্রাইভ করে দিয়েছেন, বল চলে যাচ্ছে সেই মিড অফ অঞ্চল থাকা ফিল্ডের কাছে। তবে খুব সুন্দরভাবে রানিং বিটুইন দ্য উইকেট ক্ষেত্রে শিখার ধাওয়ান এবং রোহিত শর্মার মধ্যে। 27 রানে ধাওয়ান, 11 রানে রোহিত শর্মা।
একদম, এবং রোহিত শর্মা আজকে অ্যাঙ্কারের ভূমিকা পালন করছেন, যেখানে শিখার ধাওয়ান শট খেলছেন, বড় শট খেলবার চেষ্টা করছেন, সেখানে কিন্তু রোহিত শর্মা এই মুহূর্তে যথেষ্ট ধীর গতির ক্রিকেট খেলছেন। অবভিয়াসলি এরকমই একটা হওয়া উচিত পার্টনারশিপ, যেখানে রাইট অ্যান্ড লেফটের কম্বিনেশন এবং একজন বড় শট খেলবে আর আরেকজন একটু দেখে খেলবে। ওভারের পরের বল এক্ষেত্রে কিন্তু পিছনের পায়ে গিয়ে কাট করেছিলেন এবং বল গেল গালি অঞ্চলে। গ্লেন ম্যাক্সওয়েল যেখানে দাঁড়িয়ে রয়েছেন, কোনো রান হবে না, এক বাউন্সে, এবং ভারতীয় দলের স্কোর কোনো উইকেট না হারিয়ে 41।
একদম, এবং এখানে এই ধরনের যে শট খেলছেন শিখার ধাওয়ান, সেখানে কিন্তু
শুনছেন স্বাধীন 92.4 FM। ফারহাদ রাকিব আছি আপনাদের সাথে। ঘড়িতে এই মুহূর্তে সময় 4:17 এবং এই ফাঁকে অবশ্য 10 ওভার হয়ে গেছে। গ্লেন ম্যাক্সওয়েল একাদশ ওভার করতে এসেছেন। আমার সাথে আছেন আরিক আনাম খান। স্বাগত।
থ্যাংক ইউ রাকিব। এবং কমেন্ট্রি বক্সে চেঞ্জের সাথেও কিন্তু বোলিং একটা পরিবর্তন আমরা দেখতে পাচ্ছি, যে প্যাট কামিন্সকে কিন্তু এখন চেঞ্জ করে 5 ওভার বল করেছে তিনি নতুন বল দিয়ে। গ্লেন ম্যাক্সওয়েল স্পিন দেখতে পাচ্ছি ইন্ট্রোডিউস ফর দ্য ফার্স্ট টাইম। পার্ট টাইম বোলার বলা চলে গ্লেন ম্যাক্সওয়েলকে, তবুও কিন্তু হি ইজ ভেরি ইউজফুল, যে রান অনেক সময় এবং ব্রেক থ্রু এনে দেওয়াতে সক্ষম হয় তিনি। 11তম ওভার শুরু হবে, সেকেন্ড পাওয়ার প্লে চলছে এবং প্রথম বল ভালো বল আছে, অফ স্টাম্প বা আর্মার জাতীয় ডেলিভারি ছিল, ঘোরেনি সেভাবে। রোহিত শর্মা প্লেড অ্যান্ড মিসড, কিন্তু এতে অস্ট্রেলিয়া কিন্তু বেশ টাইট রেখেছে, কিন্তু ব্রেক থ্রুটা যেটা তারা হয়তো আশা করছিল সেটা কিন্তু পায়নি। এবং ফিল্ড দেখতে হচ্ছে আপনার যে ইনার রিংয়ে কিন্তু 5 জনই আছে এবং ফুল ইউটিলাইজ করছে ফিল্ডটা এই ক্ষেত্রে। সেকেন্ড বল লেগ সাইডের উপরে ঘুরিয়ে দিয়েছেন রোহিত শর্মা স্কোয়ার লেগ অঞ্চলে, একটি রান পেয়ে যাবেন তিনি। গুড রোটেশন অফ দ্য স্ট্রাইক। স্কোর 10.2 ওভার শেষে 42 বিনা উইকেটে। জানিয়ে দিলাম টেলিটক স্কোর আপডেট। এখন টেলিটক দিচ্ছে সবচেয়ে সাশ্রয়ী ডেটা প্যাক এবং কল রেট। টেলিটক স্বপ্ন হাসি মুখে।
পরের বলটি করার জন্য গ্লেন ম্যাক্সওয়েল তিনি প্রস্তুত হচ্ছেন। একটি রান দিয়েছেন এই ওভারে এবং যেটি বলছিলেন যে ঠিক আছে রানটাকে 4.06 রান রেটে রেখেছে এবং পাওয়ার প্লেতে ভারতের মতো ব্যাটিং লাইন আপকে মাত্র 4 রান করে সেই ডিফিকাল্ট টাস্কটাই মিচেল স্টার্ক 3 ওভারে 8 রান দিয়েছেন, প্যাট কামিন্স 5 ওভারে 15 রান দিয়েছেন এবং তাদের এই ওভারগুলোই কিন্তু পার্থক্যটা গড়ে দিচ্ছে। গ্লেন ম্যাক্সওয়েল তাকে আনা হয়েছে ফিল্ডিংয়ে, তিনি খানিকটা পরিবর্তন করে নিচ্ছেন, যাচ্ছেন ওভারের পরের বলটি করার জন্য। শিখর ধাওয়ান প্রস্তুত, 35 বল থেকে 27 রান। এবার কিন্তু একটা ইনসুইং টার্ন করে ভেতরে ঢুকছিল বলটা এবং সেটাকে ব্যাকফুটে গিয়ে কাট করেছেন। পয়েন্টে ফিল্ডিং হবে, এই বল থেকে আরও একটি রান চলে আসলো। 43-এ পৌঁছেছে ভারতের সংগ্রহ।
এবং গ্লেন ম্যাক্সওয়েল কিন্তু উইকেট আমরা সে অর্থে গ্রিপ কিন্তু দেখছি না, মোটামুটি স্ট্রেট অনেক বল করছে, তবু দেখা যাক। অ্যাডাম জাম্পা লেগ স্পিনার টার্ন একটু সাধারণত বেশি পেয়ে থাকে লেগ স্পিনার, তো অ্যাডাম জাম্পা এই উইকেট থেকে কোনো পারচেস আদৌ পান কিনা। রোহিত শর্মা রান 12, একটু স্লো খেলছে তিনি, সাধারণ রোহিত শর্মা যেরকম দেখি তার চাইতে। 27 বল থেকে 12 এবং শিখর ধাওয়ান 28 রান করেছেন 36 বল থেকে। পরে বল টার্ন, কিন্তু আমরা বলছিলাম টার্নের কথা, এবার কিন্তু ভালো টার্ন দেখতে পেয়েছি আমরা গ্লেন ম্যাক্সওয়েলের কাছ থেকে এবং অফসাইড বল কিন্তু একটু টার্ন করে ব্যাটসম্যানকে একটু বিভ্রান্ত করতে সক্ষম হয়েছিলেন রোহিত শর্মাকে। বাট অফকোর্স ইন্ডিয়ান ব্যাটসম্যান স্পিনটা ভালোই খেলে থাকে এবং রোহিত শর্মা একটু হলেও ব্যাকফুটে গিয়ে খেলা বেড়েছে। যাই হোক, পরের বল আসছেন এবার কিন্তু আবারও সামনের বল এবার ঘুরিয়ে দিয়েছেন স্কোয়ার লেগ অঞ্চলে, আবারও শর্ট স্কোয়ার লেগ থেকে ফিনিশ করা।
উইকেট ডেলিভারি
Shikhar struggling with that thumb. So I think India need Rohit Sharma just to go a little harder than he probably is at the moment.
তিনি বল করছেন 44, কোনো উইকেট না হারিয়ে ভারতের সংগ্রহ। 10 ওভার 5 বল শেষে ওভারের শেষ বলটি করার জন্য ম্যাক্সওয়েল তিনি যাচ্ছেন প্রস্তুত। ব্যাটসম্যান এবার কিন্তু অবশ্য হালকা আবেদন, বলটা লেগ স্টাম্পের বাইরে দিয়ে চলে যেত পরিষ্কার। শিখর ধাওয়ান মোকাবেলা করলেন 11 ওভারে 44, কোনো উইকেট না হারিয়ে ভারত।
সহজ অ্যাপে নিশাটাকে রাইড, কাফি কাটে টিকিট আর সাথ অর্ডার করে ফুড। সহজের সুপার অ্যাপের হাইয়েস্ট নাম্বার অফ সার্ভিসের সাথে সব বেস্ট ডিলস আর সবার জন্যই আছে কিছু না কিছু। সহজ সবার জন্য।
সালাম সাহেব। চাচা, আজ থেকে আমার একটা পার্কিং স্পেস লাগবে। কিন্তু সাহেব আপনার তো গাড়ি নাই। চাচা, কে বলেছে যে গাড়ি নেই? এই তো আমার গাড়ি। ওয়ালটন টিভি কিনে ডিজিটাল রেজিস্ট্রেশন করে গাড়ি পেলাম। এটা তো আমাগো দেশেরই টিভি। হ্যাঁ, বিশ্বকাপ উপলক্ষে ওয়ালটনের টিভি কিনে ডিজিটাল ক্যাম্পেইনে রেজিস্ট্রেশন করে পেতে পারেন 8,990 টাকাতে এলইডি টিভি। এছাড়াও মডেল ভেদে 4 বছর প্যানেল গ্যারান্টি, 6 মাসের টিভি রিপ্লেসমেন্ট গ্যারান্টি তো আছেই। বাহ, দেশি পণ্যে এত কিছু, আর ছুটবো না বিদেশির পিছু।
ওয়ালটন আমাদের পণ্য। টেলিটক দিচ্ছে সবচেয়ে সাশ্রয়ী ডেটা প্যাক 10 জিবি 198 টাকায় 15 দিন মেয়াদে।
টেলিটক দিচ্ছে সবচেয়ে সাশ্রয়ী কল রেট 47 পয়সা মিনিট, যে কোনো লোকাল নম্বরে। টেলিটক।
নতুন ওভার শুরু হয়ে গেছে। অ্যাডাম জাম্পা তাকে নিয়ে এসেছেন এই মুহূর্তে ক্যাপ্টেন অ্যারন ফিঞ্চ। দুই প্রান্ত থেকে স্পিন অ্যাটাক আনার চেষ্টা, কারণ পেস অ্যাটাকে খুব একটা উইকেট টেকিংয়ে সফল হয়নি অস্ট্রেলিয়ান পেসাররা, বাট রানটাকে আটকাতে পেরেছে। সো সেই প্রেশারটা ধরে রেখে এই মুহূর্তে উইকেট টেক করার জন্য যে প্ল্যানটা করা দরকার অ্যারন ফিঞ্চ সেটাই করছেন। অ্যাডাম জাম্পা তিনি প্রথম বলটি করতে যাবেন ফ্রম দ্য প্যাভিলিয়ন এন্ড এবং তার বিপক্ষে রোহিত শর্মা তিনি প্রস্তুত। 11 ওভারে 44, কোনো উইকেট না হারিয়ে ভারতের সংগ্রহ। শুরুতেই জানিয়ে দিলাম টেলিটক স্কোর আপডেট। এখন টেলিটক দিচ্ছে সবচেয়ে সাশ্রয়ী ডেটা ব্যাক এবং কল রেট। টেলিটক স্বপ্ন হাসি মুখের।
এক্সপিরিয়েন্সে কিন্তু এই ওয়ার্ল্ড কাপে একটা বড় ভূমিকা থাকতে পারে এবং অ্যাডাম জাম্পা কিন্তু গত ম্যাচে দেখেছেন যে তিনি বেশ মোর দেন ইউজফুল। শর্ট বল প্রথম বলে খুব বাজে বল বলতে হবে, ঘুরিয়ে দিয়েছেন ব্যাটসম্যান। স্কোয়ার লেগ বাউন্ডারিতে সোজাসুজি চলে গেল বল, আর কোথাও যাবে না। প্রথম বাউন্ডারি 4।
Brought to you by Meryl Baby Lotion। শিশুর নাজুক ত্বক সম্পূর্ণ সুরক্ষিত রাখতে দিনে অন্তত 4 বার ব্যবহার করুন Meryl Baby Lotion।
লেংথটা আসলে পিক করতে পারেননি অ্যাডাম জাম্পা, তিনি এটা শর্ট বল দিয়েছেন এবং রোহিত শর্মার এগেনস্টে আসলে এই ধরনের ডেলিভারিগুলো খুবই ফ্রুটফুল তার জন্য। গ্যাপটা দেখতে পেয়েছিলেন ডিপ স্কোয়ার লেগে, সেখান থেকে মেরে দিয়েছেন। স্লিপে একজন ফিল্ডারকে রাখা হয়েছে, যাচ্ছেন জাম্পা। এবার কিন্তু একটা ফ্লাইটে ডেলিভারি, আবারও একই জায়গায় খেলেছেন।
একটি রান পেয়ে যাবেন ব্যাটসম্যান এই ক্ষেত্রে বোঝা যাচ্ছে এবং প্রথম 2 বলে কিন্তু লাইন কিন্তু একদমই পাননি অ্যাডাম জাম্পার। প্রথম বলটা অ্যাবসলিউটলি লং হপ বলতে হবে স্পিনের পক্ষে এবং রোহিত শর্মার মতো না, রোহিত শর্মা শুধু না, পৃথিবী যে কোনো ব্যাটসম্যানই যারা মোটামুটি কেপেবল তারা কিন্তু এই বলটাকে 4ই বানাতে তারা সবসময় চেষ্টা করবে এবং এই ধরনের বল সারাক্ষণ 4ই হয়ে যায়। পরের বলটাও কিন্তু দেখলেন যে আপনি যে সেকেন্ড বলটা যেটা ছিল যে আর ফুল লেংথের ডেলিভারি, কিন্তু সেটাও কিন্তু কোনো সমস্যা নেই। লেংথটা পাওয়াটা মুশকিল এবং ইন্ডিয়ান ব্যাটসম্যানদের এগেন্স্টে যদি স্পিনাররা লেংথটা না পায় তাহলে কিন্তু মুশকিল।
যে কোনো মুহূর্তে আসলে মার শুরু হয়ে যেতে পারে, সেটা আমরা খুব ভালো মতোই জানি এবং জাম্পার 2টো বলে একই জায়গায় শট খেলেছেন ব্যাটসম্যান। পরের বলটি করার জন্য যাবেন এবং পেসারদের এগেনস্টে ফুটওয়ার্কের প্রচুর ব্যবহার দেখেছি আমরা শিখর ধাওয়ান এবং রোহিত শর্মার কাছ থেকে। জাম্পা ওভারে তৃতীয় বলটি করার জন্য যাচ্ছেন, এবার কিন্তু বলটাকে ব্যাটের ফেস ওপেন করে কাট করেছেন, বল কিন্তু চলে যাচ্ছে থার্ড ম্যান দিয়ে সীমানার কাছাকাছি, ফিল্ডার ছুটছেন, আটকাতে পারবেন বলে মনে হয় না, 4ই হয়ে গেছে খুব সম্ভবত। এখন পর্যন্ত অবশ্য আম্পায়ারের কাছ থেকে কোনো ডিসিশন আসেনি না। আম্পায়ার
And slip is in place. Zampa is in. Slow. It was going nowhere.
It was. Shot of the day, thanks to Booking.com again from Shikhar. Used the pace, leant back, didn't try and hit too hard. It was the top spinner from Adam Zampa. Even a wrong one, but beautifully played, close to the stumps, and Usman valiant dive that goes for 4.
So Shikhar is now starting to assert his strength on this game. None for 53, the Indians. Ominous signs for the Aussies. Zampa, a right arm leg spinner to the left-handed Dhawan. Full pitch delivery, who he works it nicely. Wide of mid-on and an easy single.
Definitely the line and the length, well, probably a little bit shorter than that half volley, but the length that Dhawan used just to cut him was just a touch too short. He's made it into a shorter ball than what it was, and it was beautiful feet. Timing was there, was exquisite, but it suits his sore thumb as well. So get Dhawan hitting in front of the wicket and really expose that sore thumb.
Rohit Sharma now to Zampa, pushes forward, solid in defence, pushes to Finch into the offside. Thing about Dhawan's previous boundary, Bobby, and you two both did it nicely, used the full depth of the crease, went right back on his stumps, which is a good lesson for any youngsters maybe tuning in. Go right forward or right back. A lot of batsmen get caught on the crease. Sharma pushes forward and gets an easy single down to Llong off. So they've navigated their way through Adam Zampa's first over, and it was a rather expensive one. It went for 11 off his first over. They're none for 55, India after 12.
And they didn't have to try really to take any risks there. That those 11 runs came as a reaction to those balls, and they batted really well. So tough stuff, Adam Zampa. He's going to be feeling the pinch before he bowls his second over. You know, does Maxwell feel the pinch, having to make sure he bowls tight the next over? Does Sharma look to go at Maxwell? You know, Dhawan might go at Zampa a little bit more, and Sharma attack Glenn Maxwell. So interesting to see the strategies coming up now.
Hindsight's always easy, Buff, and it's very easy in the commentary box, but I must admit, looking at what I'm seeing, I would have left Coulter-Nile out. Tough decision. I would have left Coulter-Nile out and played Nathan Lyon tonight.
Well, man of the match, wasn't he, as well? That's a tough call, but that's what World Cups do.
Maxwell's full. Sharma squirts him through. Backward point. It's running towards the boundary. Zampa's in hot pursuit. I'm not sure he's going to get there. He's not. He's dived. He's tried to get his fingertips underneath it. But I believe it's reached the advertising rope, and it'll be another boundary to India.
Yeah, shot of the day, thanks to Booking.com. That'll be a boundary. I don't know what they're looking at there, unless Adam Zampa thought he might have saved it. But just over pitch, drifted away, beautifully timed. Beat backward point, and Adam Zampa really made a meal of that. He should have stopped that, to be fair.
Yeah, he got there. For our listeners, he got there, he dived, he got his fingers on the ball, but it slipped through his fingers and into the rope for a boundary. So India now, none for 59. Maxwell under the pump now. Right arm over, he goes again. Sharma pushes him back to the bowler. No run. The big show had a bit of a fling at the non-strikers.
I'll tell you what, he would have been run out. He would have been run out there. We'll have a look at the replay, but that's the sort of thing Glenn Maxwell does, doesn't he? Just tries something different all the time.
He's certainly trying to hustle through his overs, as he often does, Maxwell. That's a well-pitched off spinner, but Sharma takes it from off and he just uses the spin and turns it backward a square for an easy single.
I feel like something has to change here in terms of, not a big drastic change, but they're doing it so easily, especially Sharma right now. So I wonder whether you can put the squeeze on Shikhar and put some more pressure on him. It doesn't look like he's on. You can see him back him up there, and his sore thumb. Like, maybe just put even more pressure on him to play a big shot.
None for 60, India. 12.3 overs. They won the toss, decided to bat first, and they're doing it nicely. Maxwell on target. Dhawan uses his crease and knocks it into the leg side for another single. So they are doing it relatively easy. We just got to look at that replay that Darren Lehman was talking about when Maxwell flicked it, the old backhander, and if it connected, Buff, you're right, it would have been right on the money and a close decision.
Yeah, he does those things. It's freakish. And when they come off, you know, he probably should have got close to the stumps.
Into the wicket again, Sharma easily. They're just milking now into the offside. Stoinis patrolling the boundary on the off. Hurls it back into Carey and they get a single. So the last ball of the 13th over, and we'll have a commentary change.
I don't mind this though. Maxwell, the first ball was a bit over pitch, but you've seen when he's got it right, it's hard to score. So I let Maxwell have a good bowl here, especially with the left-hander in.
He's to the left-hander now. Darwin turns it behind square, no run. So end of the 13th over. Shikhar Dhawan's 34, Rohit Sharma's 25, and India on the biz cover scoreboard are none for 62.
Exit your timeshare now. Do you want to become timeshare free and completely out of your timeshare contract? Exit Timeshare Now is coming to Sydney. Our Exit Timeshare team will cancel your timeshare contract. No more maintenance fees, no more stress, no more worries. We're holding free seminars in Sydney on the 19th, 20th and 21st of June. Learn how you can become timeshare free. Seats are limited, so reserve yours now. Call Exit Timeshare Now, 1800 77 222 7 or go to exittimesharenow.com.
None for 62 after 13 overs. India batting first after Virat Kohli won the toss. And Rohit Sharma and a somewhat distressed Shikhar Dhawan with that damaged left thumb doing it nicely. Adam Zampa continues, and the first ball of a new set of 6. Rohit takes it off his toes down to Coulter-Nile at Llong, and they jog through for a single. 63 without loss. Rohit Sharma to 26. Shikhar Dhawan has 34. Brad Hodge and Bruce Eva joining Bobby Quiney for the next half hour or so. Good evening, Hodgie.
Yeah, Beaver, yeah. Nice to be in here again. Bit of nervous times here for the Aussies, but I like the moves that Aaron Finch has pulled with the 2 spinners in operation. It's a bit of turn.
Doesn't look a traditional oval pitch, which is generally regarded as the quickest deck in England. Zampa throws this up a little more, and Shikhar Dhawan takes it off his toes out through the vacant mid-wicket area. Stark does the fielding in the deep, and once more they walk a single, none for 64.
Well, I think conditions are still pretty good for batting, aren't they? There's been no swing, no seam. I mean, we're jumping up and down here before about seeing one ball spin from Glenn Maxwell. That's what you're meant to do as a spinner. You're meant to try and turn it. That's the idea.
Yeah, big difference between a spin bowler and a slow bowler. Zampa tosses this one up. Rohit advances and turns it into a low full toss and clips it down to Coulter-Nile at Llong again. Another single.
Hodgie, would you think about bringing another fielder in when Darwin's on strike? He looks like a little bit. They're doing it too easy at the moment. He's got a sore thumb. They're just allowed to do what they want right now and just take a little bit of a gamble.
Shikhar Dhawan on 35 from 42. Zampa once more. Shikhar Dhawan is advancing, and as he drives him down to Llong off, immediately takes the bottom hand off the handle, and they walk another single, so it's clearly troubling him. 66 without loss.
Well, the thing is, it's very difficult actually with only the field restrictions make it tough for spinners already, with not allowing 5 out. They can only have 4 out, so you're already taking risks a little bit, but it's worth the punt.
Zampa to Rohit. He drags that one down a little, and Rohit Sharma tugs it behind square, and he won't quite pick up another boundary. That's great fielding in the deep. It looked like Stoinis working his way around the rope there and saved a couple. They sprint back for a second at 68 for no wicket.
And that's one of the reasons why we have seen inflated scores over the last sort of couple of years for those fielding restrictions, the 2 Kookaburra balls. Spinners have done well to stay in the game, but for me, I think Aaron Finch will be happy with this run rate. 4.92 midway through the 13th. It's a decent start, just lacking a breakthrough, that's all.
But Adam Zampa wouldn't be happy with his start. None for 17 from 11 deliveries. Final ball of his second over coming up.
No, this start's actually more like the Afghanistan Adam Zampa we saw, not the other night.
Slip in place, throws it up outside off stump, and Rohit Sharma clubs it through the covers, but straight out to the sweeper in the deep in Mitchell Stark, and they take a single. None for 69 after 14 on the biz cover scoreboard.
From cheering on 11 Aussies at Lord's to finding an apartment for 2 nearby. From Lord's to Trent Bridge, find the perfect accommodation for your trip with hotels, city apartments and more. Live curious on Booking.com. Booking.com, proud partner ICC Cricket World Cup 2019.
Match 14 of the 2019 ICC Cricket World Cup. Action tonight coming from the historic Oval in London. Australia and India. Australia 2-0. India won their first and only game comfortably. And the only other undefeated team in the competition to date, New Zealand, 3-0. Nathan Coulter-Nile back into the attack. His first 2 overs cost him 16, and his first ball of a new spell. Rohit Sharma just opens the face, runs it down to third man, and they take a single. None for 70 after the first ball of the 15th over. Rohit to 31, and Shikhar on 36.
He's going nicely again, Rohit, isn't he? Coming off his 120 last game and looking for one-day century number 24. He's an absolute class player, and it's been touched on before whether he's, is he close to Virat Kohli? Is he better? Maybe not, but he's definitely class.
And I think, 3 of those centuries have been doubles. Incredible record in 50-over cricket. Coulter-Nile in over the wicket. Shikhar takes him off his pads, but straight to Finch at a shortish mid-wicket, and there was no chance of a run.
It's interesting to see how Coulter-Nile fires back here. He got away with the last over, probably because Shikhar was wrestling with the injured thumb, but it's quite an important spell. Needs to make an impact. Hasn't really troubled any of these batsmen, really.
Brilliant with the bat 4 nights ago, not so much with the ball. He's in again, shortish ball, and Shikhar, he half played the hook, he half pulled out of it, made good connection though, 1 bounce into the rope at fine leg for 4.
Well, that's something you want to see from Nathan Coulter-Nile. Was lucky, could have gone anywhere. Shikhar gets a welcome boundary, but well, that's what you want to see from Nathan Coulter-Nile. Up above 140, good bouncer, right on the money. If he didn't get any sort of bat on it, would have clipped the badge on the helmet of Shikhar, but that's the pace and the attitude you want to see. Cross-seam ball it was, just hurried him.
And that got big on Shikhar, and probably the best ball delivered so far by Nathan Coulter-Nile. He went for 70 from his 10 overs against the Windies. Last 4 balls of the match, 4 consecutive boundaries as to the next delivery. It's outside off and just opening the face. Shikhar running it down to third man for an easy single, 75 without loss.
I wonder if they could have followed up with another bouncer there, Hodgie, and really try to ruffle his feathers. Even come around the wicket and try that angle as well with the cross seam. So, yeah, it's definitely an opportunity for him to puff his chest out, like you said, and really just get amongst it. Don't just go out and bowl just for the sake of bowling. Get into the game somehow.
Well, we saw the West Indies bowl 2 or 3 wides, just bowling bouncers.
Coulter-Nile in again, and Rohit Sharma plays a lovely looking shot for none. Excellent fielding as well by Glenn Maxwell, a backward point. That was right out of the meat of the bat. Not a full-blooded square cut, just guided it, but the timing was immaculate.
Starting to see that run rate just creep up above 5. You can just sense that these 2 at the crease are just starting to look very comfortable, maybe scenting an opportunity. They've seen the first 2 off, they've seen the spinners now. Maybe let's just push it on a little bit.
Drink should be after this ball. Coulter-Nile, last ball of the 15th over. Rohit Sharma stands tall, and he's not a tall man, and punches off the back foot square of the wicket, but Maxwell again does the fielding. So run rate exactly 5 per over. After 15, India none for 75. And you'll have a better travel experience when you start your journey at Booking.com. Whether it's a hotel, an apartment or an entire house, Booking.com offers more choices on more accommodation options in more parts of the world than anyone else. They also provide a great range of experiences and travel services. At Booking.com, everything is seamless and they're always available to help. For choice, convenience and a better way of booking your accommodation, it's always easier at Booking.com. Do what millions of people around the world do. Find the perfect accommodation at Booking.com. Let's make it happen. None for 75 after 15 overs. Shikhar on 41 and Rohit Sharma on 31. Shikhar came into this match not in very good form at all. Scores of 2 and 1 in India's 2 warm-up games against New Zealand and Bangladesh, and just 8 against South Africa. And Darren Lehman said to me during our pre-game preview, probably shouldn't have mentioned that, because what's he going to do? Come out and get some runs, and Boof is right again.
Well, he looks in that way. I mean, he's probably given up 6 of those balls to Nathan Coulter-Nile as well. So, striking it just under 100, but realistically well above.
So Marcus Stoinis into the attack, and he starts with a slow bouncer, and Shikhar rocks back and plays the ramp shot delightfully over the head of Alex Carey to move to 45. That is a shot of the day, thanks to Booking.com, just using the pace of the delivery, and it was an off-pace bouncer, but just running it off the face of the bat and down to the boundary for yet another 4.
I feel like it was like a East Andy match, Hodgie, where Virat Kohli said, get a message out to Shikhar, tell him to get on with it because I want to bat on this wicket. So he certainly got that helping with that bouncer and beautifully played.
None for 79. Next delivery from Stoinis, and Shikhar chopping away at this one, but straight to Maxwell at backward point, and it's a dot ball.
Yeah, we've just seen the Indian captain just make his presence felt on the balcony in the Oval. Yeah, it's often what our good number threes do. They want their top order players just to get out of the way sometimes.
Well, the man we're watching with the ball right now, Marcus Stoinis, it's sort of become public in the last few days that he's actually got a close friendship with Virat Kohli. He storms in, and a strange shot by Shikhar, squared up off a thick outside edge, squirts down to third man, past the diving Maxwell, and they jog through for yet another single.
Yeah, look, it's amazing, isn't it, that how close they've become now that they played together at the RCB, and it's amazing what $1.3 or $1.4 million does to your friendship as well. Amazing.
None for 80. Halfway through the 16th. Australia on the back foot after Virat Kohli won the toss. Packed house at the Oval in London. Sun shining brightly now as Stoinis bowls to Rohit Sharma, who's forward, leaning on it defensively and pushing away to mid-on, and there's no run.
Well, it needs to be good to see him aggressive in this spell, Marcus Stoinis. You know, it's just seeing that Nathan Coulter-Nile isn't having the impact that he wants, but Marcus Stoinis can bowl a heavy ball, he can trouble a batsman. If his true all-round skills are up and about, then Australia's in pretty good shape. He's got to really target in on this off stump. The odd bouncer, good change of pace. Try and mix it up on a good wicket.
Not quite bowling for run-outs yet, but you're just wondering where this first breakthrough is going to come from. Stoinis drops a little short, and Rohit Sharma swings in to a pull shot. Not a full-blooded stroke by any means. Races down to Zampa at deep backward square, and they trot through for another single, none for 81.
But even his presence, chest out, like it walked down, like he was in Australia in the one days, and even in India and Dubai when they had their series there, it was in your face without too much. He was just saying, you know what, I'm here. Batters look like, yeah, there you go, I'll hit the ball back to you, you're not getting me out. But just his persistence in their face, and he can get wickets like that, chest out. We want to see the Incredible Hulk come out, don't we, with his arms and ready to rip the shirt off.
A powerfully built all-rounder, the last ball of his first over. He's conceded 6 runs as he brings Shikhar forward, who drives gently out into the covers. Steve Smith does the fielding. There is no run. Over and drinks are called by umpire Chris Gaffaney. So after 16 overs, Australia still searching for its first breakthrough. India none for 81, with Shikhar on 46 from 50 deliveries with 7 boundaries, and Rohit Sharma more circumspect, 32 from 46 with 2 boundaries. None for 81 after 16 India, and that is on the Biz Cover scoreboard.
Big good morning. Yeah, good morning, Levy. Good morning, everyone. Look, normally I say great to be here. Well, not today. No, I'm all right. I've got a bit of the flu.
Can you cover your mouth when you cough, please? I don't want to get crook. You just turned away from the microphone and coughed. I said, champion.
Well, I had my hand on the button, so I didn't go into the microphone.
What were you doing with the other hand?
None of your business.
Breakfast with Mark Levy, Mark Riddell and Jimmy Bartell on Macquarie Sports Radio.
I'll have the poached eggs on toast, please.
Certainly. And what bread would you like? White, sourdough, light rye, ancient grain, gluten-free, ciabatta, soy linseed, Turkish or spelt?
Bread doesn't need to be confusing, and neither does your car insurance. At Bingle, we get simple. That's why we offer comprehensive car insurance that's easy to understand and award-winning for great value. Get it online today. Bingle, simply great value car insurance. Before buying this insurance issued by Bingle Insurance, read the PDS at bingle.com.au to see if it's right for you. Bingle!
In recent times, directors have received jail sentences for breaching safety legislation. When it comes to workplace health and safety, senior executives must ensure their business and workers stay safe. SafeTrack's online learning can help ensure everyone understands what they need to do to avoid incidents and how to respond if one occurs. Don't let unsafe work practices continue in your workplace. Talk to SafeTrack, Australia's best compliance training provider. Google SafeTrack Compliance or call 1-800-170-830. Don't miss the huge end of financial year deals from Dell. Visit Dell.com.au and save up to a massive 45% on selected Dell PCs, preloaded with Windows 10 Pro, starting from just $549. Love your new tech and shop with confidence with Dell's price match guarantee. Plus, you could earn Qantas points for your business. Windows 10 Pro means business, and so does Dell. The clock is ticking. Offers end midnight, June 13. Visit Dell.com.au today. Conditions apply.
Dealing with a death in the family is never an easy process. When dealing with your grief, the last thing you need is any legal difficulty in settling the estate. At Bryden's Lawyers, we do have experts available to assist in these difficult times. Call the experts at Bryden's Lawyers to help ease the burden and let us be with you every step of the way. We do wills and estate matters because they matter most to you. Call Bryden's Lawyers on 1-800-848-848.
Piggy Riddell here, and that is the sound of our misspent youth. Thanks to AMD pinballs, you can now have one at home. These are brand new, state-of-the-art pinball machines straight out of the States, and they are the best fun you'll ever have. AMD pinball machines come with a full warranty, so there's never a hassle, and they're yours to own forever. So, are you ready to play? Search AMD Pinball and get yourself your very own pinball machine. AMD Pinball, the best fun you can have.
You're listening to the 2019 ICC Cricket World Cup on Macquarie Sports Radio for Booking.com.
And welcome back to our coverage. First ball after drinks, Nathan Coulter-Nile bangs it into the pitch. A bouncer which Rohit Sharma picked up very early, and he's hooked it for a magnificent 6. Shot of the day thanks to Booking.com. It's none for 87 as Rohit Sharma moves to 38.
Oh, it's a good shot, isn't it? It was just a pretty good bumper, actually, from Nathan Coulter-Nile, but Rohit Sharma, when he's in good touch, he doesn't miss out. Anything from sort of waist height upwards generally travels over the fence.
Coulter-Nile in again. This time he's pitching right up near the block hole. Rohit's driving, but picking out Finch at mid-off, and it's a dot ball. Nathan Coulter-Nile now none for 28, just 2 balls into his 4th over. He is under the cosh.
He certainly is, Beaver, and you're spot on, Hodgie. The bouncer was on the money, wasn't it? But sometimes when things aren't going your way, it continues, doesn't it? And it was on the money, but Rohit Sharma was definitely up for the challenge and hit it beautifully.
Can something happen on this most famous of numbers? None for 87. Coulter-Nile in again, and Rohit Sharma makes sure they move to 88 pretty promptly. Just opening the face and running it down to third man for an easy single.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether it's just crept in lately, but just felt on his delivery stride, Nathan Coulter-Nile was just jumping out towards the cover region instead of getting his momentum down towards the batter. I don't know whether that's just been coming since some injuries of late, but just not projecting all the way down to the batter.
Coulter-Nile in again. He's cramping Shikhar for room, but played it awkwardly but effectively. Worked it out to square leg, and another easy single. None for 89. Shikhar now to 47.
But he's an important player to get right for this Australian 11. He, I mean, we saw his capabilities with the bat the other day, but that's not why he's here. He's here because he's an impact bowler. He's fast. You know, he's a good athlete in the field. And we've both played against him, Bobby. Nearly decapitated me a couple of times.
Coulter-Nile to Rohit, who has to cover up in defence. Checked himself on the shot and with a slightly open face, pushed out towards point. Maxwell does the fielding.
But I'm just not quite sure whether he's adapted to this role. Bowling, you know, first change, bowling more in the middle. Generally he'll bowl out his 10 before the death. So it's definitely a different role than he's been accustomed to. Usually Cummings or Stark's out of the 11, he'll take the new ball. He has done in the last couple of series. So, yeah, different role.
Last ball of the Coulter-Nile over, and he leaks another run. Rohit just plays it very cleverly wide of Smith at cover, and they scamper through. So Rohit Sharma retained strike. He moves to 40, and after 17 overs on the BizCover scoreboard, India none for 90. Whether you're following our Aussie cricketers around the world or just heading for a weekend away, wherever you go, you'll need somewhere to stay. And the easiest way to find the perfect place is with Booking.com. Hotels, homes, city apartments, Booking.com can get you close to the action or help you find somewhere quiet and cosy in a place that's just yours. For the choice, the convenience, or simply because it's better value, Booking.com makes finding accommodation easy. Live curious and do what millions of people around the world do. Find the perfect accommodation at Booking.com. Let's make it happen. So Australia asked to field first by Virat Kohli. Still searching for their first wicket. Marcus Stoinis begins the 18th over, and he has Rohit Sharma defending away on the onside on the front foot, and there was no chance of a run. Stoinis just the 6 runs from his opening over.
I'll tell you what, Bobby, come about 3:30 the other evening, we were crying out for Booking.com. Anywhere in the CBD would have been handy, wouldn't it? Actually. It was a good fixture, actually, the West Indies and Australia. It was a pretty good contest. And these two, I reckon, are a real... it's almost become a grudge match of recent time, you know?
It's the 9th ODI between these two sides already in 2019. Next delivery from Stoinis drops a little short and tugged around the corner. Again, not a full-blooded pull shot by Rohit, down to fine leg, and they take another single, none for 91.
And I know it's not the final. It is still a World Cup, but I still think they're going to be smarting a fair bit about losing the series, especially after being 2-0 up at home. That doesn't happen too often, so I dare say they've come out here with an actual purpose and really try and drive it into the Australians.
Yeah, the turnaround started in Ranchi in Game 3. Australia had such a shocking record in ODIs as Stoinis bowls again. Shikhar across his stumps and drives square of the wicket, and it won't quite reach the rope. Coulter-Nile in the deep covers good ground and keeps it to 2, and it's none for 93.
And it was interesting that the turning point, I think, was actually the form of the captain, Aaron Finch. And that really helped. Usman Khawaja looked in good touch, and then Finchy jumped on the back of that. Sean Marsh was also in good touch. Peter Hanscom himself. And, they got to some scores. In Australia, they could post 270, 280. They're then going to 300, 310, 320.
Stoinis again, that's a full toss which surprised Shikhar, but he still managed to play it with the bottom hand coming off the bat down to mid-off, and that single brings up his half-century. 50 from 53 deliveries faced with 7 boundaries. He's got a damaged left thumb, but one of the stars of the Indian top order has delivered again. India none for 94 with 2 balls remaining in the 18th over. And Shikhar, a welcome return to form.
Well, thanks to Boof, yeah.
It was, wasn't it?
He's made a pretty good 50 actually. So it hasn't looked like getting a run so far. But yeah, that's a pretty good 50 against a good attack on a good surface, but it's looked in complete control.
Stoinis tries again, and Rohit Sharma turns him around the corner, just noodles it behind square leg. They take the first quickly. They think about coming back for the second, but Khawaja got across rapidly and kept it to 1, none for 95.
He doesn't look like trying to take any risks either, Shikhar, and he's nearly going at 100. I think he's just been lurking around the 90 strike rate mark most of the time now. So probably the over that Coulter-Nile bowled where he kept backing away was probably the only time he looked flustered. But apart from that, he's been going beautifully. They haven't taken any risks here, and they're going about it beautifully, and they're just going to be able to, put their foot down through the middle, and then, geez, if they've got wickets in the shed come in the end, the helicopter's coming out, surely.
It hasn't been a typically explosive Shikhar innings, Bobby, but as you said, he strike rate of almost 100. This time he's advancing and slapping Stoinis through the covers once more. The bottom hand comes off the handle as soon as he's played the shot to protect that damaged left thumb. Coulter-Nile does the fielding, and they take a single. BizCover scoreboard, none for 96 after 18.
Well, I mean, you'd be happy for the Australians. I mean, they've been pretty good. Haven't really given too many bad balls, apart from the odd loosener one from Adam Zampa. But all in all, they've been pretty good. They've created good lengths. Just that the Shikhar one has punished anything just short and wide of the stumps from Coulter-Nile. Rohit Sharma just looks like he's just about to explode at any time. So they need a wicket. Desperately need a wicket, the Aussies.
We always talked about, with the state stuff, Hodgie, I'm sure you've done it higher, is you put 2 wickets on the scoreboard, And you put 2 wickets on here, and you might be right, 2 for 100 after 20, and you'd almost take that. But they need him soon because it's a hell of a dangerous batting order.
Current run rate 5.33. Virat Kohli to come in at number 3. Enough said. KL Rahul at 4. MS Dhoni at 5. And the explosive all-rounder Hardik Pandya at 6. And Aaron Finch starting to ring the changes. Mitchell Starc back into the attack. His first spell was 3 overs, none for 8. Starc to bowl the 19th over, and Shikhar forced back but plays it with good placement just forward of point. And Maxwell, as good a fielder as he is, can't prevent a single. It's none for 97.
I think he was going to be pretty happy to get down the other end, Shikhar with Starc back on, because I think that one was a little bit of a loosener from Mitchell Starc, and he's going to really get into his gear now. But Hodgie, what are you thinking at a total right now? I'm thinking about sort of 330, 340 still. Potentially to go higher though.
Well, it's looking that way. I mean, you've got a guy that averages 60 coming in next and clips him about 100. And then the power of Hardik Pandya has actually been extraordinarily
confident
dangerous.
Too, isn't he?
Yeah, down late. So it looks like a 300 plus.
Starc now bowling from the southern or Vauxhall end of the Oval. His first delivery in this second spell to Rohit Sharma, who plays it quietly away, in fact behind the wicket towards where the slips cordon would have been, with a very angled blade. His first spell, Mitchell Starc, was from the northern or pavilion end. He's got a big grin on his face at the moment. Something amused him after that delivery, but a welcome dot ball for the Australians. Runs have been flowing. None for 97, 2 balls into the 19th. Starc at the top of his mark. And Rohit Sharma on 42, the man in his sights, drifts onto the pads, and Rohit with those lovely rubbery wrists just flicks it out forward of square, and they jog through for another single.
Well, it's a good move from Aaron Finch to get his strike bowler back on. He recognises that this is an important time, and things just keep meandering on here. He's in a world of pain later on, so he's brought his premier bowler back on, which is a good move, but sort of sense that the two batsmen at the crease are aware of that, and they're just going to see Mitchell Starc off. So a little battle.
None for 98, halfway through the 19th. Starc left arm over to Shikhar, who plays with an angled blade, pushing out to Maxwell at backward point, and it's a dot ball. That stopped the speed gun right on 140 clicks.
What about a spinner at the other end here, Hodge? If that's the case, they clearly not going to take Mitchell Starc on, but then overemphasise taking on the spinner at the other end, and then forces them to go, well, it might create some mistakes here. It might bring Zampa. Keep it simple, mate, and hopefully they make the errors.
Yeah, that's certainly a ploy, there's no doubt. The medium paces don't look particularly damaging at all.
Large crowd roaring in approval, predominantly Indian fans, Indian blue in the crowd, as Starc this time zeroing in on the hip of Shikhar, who works it out behind square leg, and again a very comfortable single, 99 without loss.
And Fiji did a particularly good job last game as well, mustering his troops around against a powerful West Indies unit. I thought he captained extremely well, rotated his bowlers around. Yeah, you can see he's going to have his work cut out for him today, because it looks like Adam Zampa's a fraction off his best. Nathan Coulter-Nile is travelling.
Mexican wave in full flight as Starc bowls to Rohit Sharma. It was the off-pace delivery. I think he was going for the Yorker as well, but down leg side. Only 128 kilometres per hour, and Rohit Sharma just guided it down to fine leg. And that single brings up the 100. So at the end of the 19th over, India none for 100. Shikhar on 53, Rohit Sharma on 44, and there's been 3 extras.
Well, I mean, what do you say about these two? They're an amazing one-day partnership up there, as good as anyone. Hayden Gilchrist, Tendulkar, Sehwag, even Ganguly. I mean, these two just keep piling it on. So Rohit Sharma, he continues to amaze everyone in one-day cricket how good he is, and Shikhar generally plays the second fiddle.
It looks like he's really enjoying his cricket at the moment, Rohit Sharma, to the stage where I'm not sure if he's doing much exercise outside the game. You reckon, dodgeball? He might be just enjoying himself a little bit more at his current age, but it hasn't affected his batting, that's for sure.
Yeah, happy wife he's got now as well.
Well, Rohit Sharma's 32, Shikhar 33. That's their age we're talking about. As Marcus Stoinis begins the 20th over, and Rohit Sharma is forward and pushing defensively out to mid-wicket, and there is no run.
Well, he's obviously doing a lot of things right, isn't he? He's captaining another premiership in the IPL, so he didn't particularly play well in that tournament, and here he is, still striking it around the Oval, not looking like he's out of touch. Got 100 the game before. Such a marvellous player. Love the way he just destroys any bowler if they're marginally off the pace.
Stoinis a little shorter and well fielded by Maxwell, as they did take the run there. Rohit Sharma just opened the face and pushed to backward point. Maxwell was right back on the edge of the circle, and they scampered through, so none for 101.
It's good energy from Maxwell there. You can see that he's still in the field trying to make something happen, looking for an opportunity, for a breakthrough, making a difference. It's good. That's why...
he'd be filthy with that though, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he was spewing. I don't know whether he copped one on the digit or not. Certainly wouldn't want to get one on his arm with the amount of hair that he's got on those forearms.
He's hunched over at the moment. Stoinis down leg side, and Shikhar just helps it on its way. Plays the hook shot, but he was really just using the pace of the delivery, playing it very fine. And yet another boundary, none for 105. Australia's problems continue to grow. Shikhar to 57 from 58 deliveries with his 8th boundary.
It's a poor delivery, that one from Marcus Stoinis, really is. It was an off-base delivery, but it started well outside leg stump, and Shikhar only had to get any sort of bat on it before.
Stoinis tries again, and Shikhar inside out, over cover, one bounce for 4, and that is the shot of the match. That is the shot of the match. The crowd going ballistic. What a shot from Shikhar to take him to 61 with his 9th boundary. Shot of the day thanks to Booking.com.
You tried to get it out, didn't you, Beaver? It was the shot of the day thanks to Booking.com, and well, if MRF tyres or any performance the way that come off the middle of that MRF bat, unbelievable. That's a phenomenal shot from Shikhar.
Did you notice he didn't take that bottom hand off the bat then? I think he really liked that shot.
Stoinis in again, and Shikhar just drops it quietly at his toes, and they scamper through for a single. Bit of a collision there between Stoinis and Rohit Sharma. No angst from either player, none for 110 with one ball remaining in the 20th, and Stoinis has leaked 10 runs in this over with a ball remaining.
Well, the crowd's not happy about it, were they? Saw a tweet from Michael Vaughan, said he's spotted 33 Australians in the crowd today. That's the players and the support staff. The rest are jam-packed with blue. The Oval.
The run rate up to 5.55. And these Indian fans, they have the Oval rocking at the moment. Stoinis in again, and Rohit Sharma's now getting in on the act, driving square of the wicket. But out to Cummins at deep point, and they take just a single. Rohit Sharma will retain the strike. He's a boundary away from yet another international half-century. He has 46, Shikhar 62. Commentary change coming up after 20. Biz cover scoreboard, India, none for 111.
Do you know what's growing in gardens all over Sydney? Business opportunities. If you'd like to be your own boss, work in the fresh air and create beautiful gardens, how about a Flower Power Garden Care franchise? There's no experience necessary. You'll be trained and supported by the Flower Power Group. Find out lots more about our garden care franchises at flowerpower.com.au. And you can hear what one of our franchisees has to say. We don't just grow plants, we grow businesses. Flower Power, the garden business people.
111, and they're continuing on their run feast because the first ball of the 21st goes to the boundary. Rohit Sharma 50 off 61, Shikhar 62 off 60. Darren Lehman joins myself, Darren Berry back in commentary. Boof, it is looking ugly now for the Aussies.
It is, mate. Shot of the day thanks to Booking.com. Rohit Sharma's into his work now, isn't he?
Just crunched that square beautifully.
Times it so beautifully. He's a wonderful player, so much time. Just watching on the replay for listeners. Captain's happy.
Stark, full delivery, full face of the bat. Brad Hodge, you've been sitting in commentary for the last half an hour or so. These two look very, very settled.
Yeah, that's the first error I've seen from Mitchell Stark, actually. It was the first time he's got fraction wide of Rohit Sharma, and a man in that sort of touch is going to put that away. But quality performance. You just sort of see them just starting up the ante, the Indian batters.
Aaron Finch is ringing the changes. 2 overs here, 2 overs there, searching for the breakthrough. Not coming at this point. None for 115. Stark's full. Sharma drives through the covers again. Lovely shot. Beautiful timing. They'll get back easily for 2.
Well, the worry here, Hodgie, is they're just cruising, aren't they?
Absolutely cruising.
They're not even into their 2020 mode yet, and they normally what they'll do is get to 30 and then really start to motor. And if you've got 10 wickets in the shed, you think of a T20 score they can possibly get, or double the score they're going to have, and Australia will be tasting a few.
Big crowd in at the Oval, and I'd say 90% of them are Indian fans.
98.
98% says Darren Lehman. There's a strong Indian contingent around south of London, and they're in the house and making plenty of noise as Sharma works this one to the leg side. Easy single, they're thinking of 2. Paddy Cummins slips over and they get back easily for 2. The score moving nicely along from an Indian point of view. How, where is a wicket going to come from, gentlemen?
Well, Aaron Finch is just going to have to keep ringing the changes, isn't he? I think, look, the problem that he's got is that at the moment Cummings was outstanding as normal, and Stark's been very good, but Coulter-Nile has been expensive. Adam Zampa wasn't particularly impressive in his first couple, and Marcus Stoinis is travelling a little bit as well. So those 30 overs that are going to be made up by those players might have to be better than what they've got.
Cut again by Sharma. Stark was into the wicket. It goes to deep point. Coulter-Nile does the fielding, only the single.
Well, Hodgie makes a great point there. I mean, Cummins 5 overs for 15 in his first spell, then Stark bowled 3, Coulter-Nile bowled 3, Maxwell a couple, Zampa a couple, Stoinis a couple. Now Stark back on for his next spell. I would like to see Maxwell bowl a few more. I mean, he only bowled 2 overs for 10, and with the left-hander in, he got it right a couple of times, so he could have bowled a few more, I thought.
I know, Buff, you and I discussed this the other evening when we were on air together, and we disagreed, which is fine. I'll get back to our disagreement in a moment as Stark is in full pitch. In fact, over pitched, knocked into the leg side. I think only a single, Coulter-Nile out. I've just felt on these wickets that are pretty good, Buff, that I must admit I would consider at the end of the 21st over, none for 121. I would have really considered tonight rolling the dice with an extra frontline bowler and pushed Alex Carey to 6. And I know your perspective is it's a bit light in batting, but I would have pushed Carey to 6, and then you can have either probably Coulter-Nile at 7, play the extra frontline bowler in Nathan Lyon and make a tough call and leave Stoinis or Maxwell out. So you've got 5 frontline bowlers as opposed to making up the 5th. That was my perspective, and I know both of you disagreed the other night. That's fine. We can have our differences of opinion.
And we're still going to have a different opinion. I'm still loading up with the extra batter, especially against a team like India where you need to take on the spin. You have a bit more confidence with your batting depth. Now, if they drop Nathan Coulter-Nile, hasn't got a wicket in the first 2 games, man of the match, unbelievable performance last game.
With the bat, yep.
With the bat. I'm saying the quicks aren't going to be that effective on this week. It's only going to be a cutters anyway. Stoinis can fill that role, and Lyon comes in anyway. Nathan Coulter-Nile will probably not bowl his 10 today.
So you want 2 quicks, 2 spinners, and then still make up the 5th complement of Maxwell and Stoinis.
Yes, and I think this wicket you can do that.
Yeah, Stoinis actually should be a 10-over bowler. He should be.
Well, I'll tell you what, Zampa's back into the attack now, and this is going to be a test for the young leg spinner. 2 overs for 18. His first ball was a horror. Let's see what he can deliver to the left-handed Shikhar, and he steps to the leg, and then he slaps him through the offside. 2-card trick there. He did the old 1-2-zy to the left. It's cut off nicely on the boundary line. Coulter-Nile was screaming around the cover boundary, so well fielded. Just the 2.
If he does manage to squeeze a wicket out, Adam Zampa, he's been particularly impressive against their middle order in the last few ODI series. So just got to find a wicket here.
You're exactly right there, Hodgie. With leg spinners, if they get a wicket, they normally can get a couple in a row.
Zampa to Dhawan, the left-hand, a skidding ball, might have been a top. He worked it nicely. They play spin so well into the leg side. So Zampa's night. Or Zampa's morning in England, of course, but evening here in the Australian Eastern Seaboard. We're just getting a bit of a replay of all the balls Zampa's bowled and over-pitched on many of them. So the leg spinner's got to find his line and length, see if he can rip one across the right-handed Rohit Sharma. Australian Brains Trust upstairs there. Head coach Justin Langer, Adam Griffith, I think it is, the bowling coach over there at the moment. Zampa, the leg spinner, into the wicket, pulled to the leg side. Deep man, he's going to cut it off. He didn't get a full piece of that, Rohit Sharma. He knows, we're having a look at him. He really disappointed. He could have put that away, only the single.
Normally he does put that away, whether it just skidded on a fraction off the surface, just hurried onto him a fraction, caught it high on the bat, or low on the bat actually.
From the toe.
One of those ones as a batter where you go, oh no, I've hit it straight to deep mid-wicket, it's a proper shank, but he was thinking maximum, that's all he was thinking as soon as you saw that one. But just want to see Zampa encourage the drive a little bit, toss it up, try and get him to hit down the ground. It's got protection down there.
None for 125. The Australians desperately need a wicket. In fact, they probably need a couple just to peg back the momentum, because the opening batsmen from India, Dhawan and Rohit, doing it nicely. Zampa's on the money. That's a nicely pitched delivery, knocked down for no run.
Well, at least he's got the length a bit better. It is a tough art for our listeners out there to bowl wrist spin. There was one of the best in the world who hardly bowled a bad ball, and you kept doing like Shane Warne. There's not going to be another one of him, I wouldn't think.
Zampa again, twists it over the top, worked into the leg side again for a relatively easy single. So they're just managing to milk the spinners, Zampa in particular, for a single off nearly every ball, which is the art of batting, and then when the bad one comes, they put it away. So he's none for 23 off 2.5. The Australians have got to continue. They need a wicket, and the leg spinner, we've said ad nauseum in our coverage that Zampa and Stark are our two trumps as far as wicket taking goes. Sharma with ease pushes into the offside for a single.
Well, one of the other things is that Adam Zampa actually only can bowl with 4 out. Compare those legends, he's doing a pretty good job.
None for 127 after 22 overs. Of course, Kane Richardson, Jason Berendorf, the two reserve fast bowlers in the Australian camp. Sean Marsh is the batsman unlucky to be missing at the minute. And Nathan Lyon, Australia's great test off-spinner, not getting an opportunity at this point of the series.
Well, quick update, Chuck. Australia, Italy in the World Cup, Women's World Cup.
Matildas.
Matildas. Italy have scored after 9 minutes. Not a great start for the girls there.
No, we don't want that news,
No.
although
They'll fight back, they'll be all right.
we witnessed Ash Barty the other night in her semi-final. What a fight back that was. And now she is the French Open champion. So the Barty party continues on, and she's now ranked number 2 in the world. Just covering our sports, we'll keep you updated. Darren Lehman's got the scoreboard on with the Matildas up against Italy tonight. So the action is at the Oval in South London, where India won the toss and elected to bat first, and they're doing it nicely, Brad Hodge. None for 127 off 22.
Yeah, current run rate of 5.77 gets them 289. I think that's well below where they're going to end up.
Coulter-Nile in, defended into the offside. Continue, Brad.
I mean, these two just are going to power on. Looks like that they know that there's 10 players left in the shed to put a lot of damage towards these Australian bowlers who Aaron Finch continues to ring the changes, and that's all he can do at this stage. The odd field change. He's doing the right thing with his bowling group, trying to find an error from these two batsmen, but they just look in complete control.
Coulter-Nile's in again, bashes the wicket hard. Sharma twists it to the leg side, no run. Khawaja fields at mid-wicket.
It's a catch-22, isn't it, Captain? You want to try things that just somehow get that wicket, but and he's tried everyone, hasn't he? That's
everyone.
The thing. So I just think with the left-hander and the way Dhawan plays, the off-spin gives him a really good option, and you can maybe hold Zampa until you get 2 right-handers in and 2 new batters, if you like.
Coulter-Nile again. Makes his way, bashes the wicket, Nick behind, there's the breakthrough Australia desperately needed. He feathered one through, Alex Carey moved to his right and took a catch, a rather lazy shot. Rohit Sharma is out, and the wicket we were talking about eventually comes. 1 for 127, Sharma's out.
Yeah, well, that's unbelievable. Comes from nowhere, doesn't it? Just a lazy shot, as you said, Chuck. That bounced a little bit more with the cross seam, probably. And Alex Carey takes an easy catch, but Rohit Sharma will be extremely disappointed. Nathan Coulter-Nile rings the changes, Aaron Finch, and does the work. And on the Biz cover scoreboard, it's now 1 for 127. Rohit Sharma departs for 57 off a world-made, 70 balls. So that's a great result for Australia.
Great result, and well done Nathan Coulter-Nile as well. His first wicket for the tournament. It was a good effort ball. Got a little bit extra. And look who walks out to the crease.
And listen to the crowd as he makes his way onto the Oval in London. It's the great, and I say that with no hesitation, the great Virat Kohli averages 59 in one-day cricket, one of the great modern-day players, and will go down when the history books show as one of the greatest Indians of all time. They make some real noise for Virat Kohli. One for 127. So Sharma on his way for 57. Caught Carey, bowled Coulter-Nile, a little feather through. Carey completed a rather simple catch. And now Australia need to try and get a quick breakthrough to wrestle some of the ascendancy back.
Well, there's other good news, Chucky.
We've scored.
No.
Oh.
VAR has come in. The video ref and said it's no goal. It's 0-0.
That is
Australia,
good
Italy.
news.
It's been a good 30 seconds for the Australian women's soccer team and obviously the Australian cricket team.
Good work, Buff. Lucky it's not the AFL review system at the minute. We're having a few troubles just at the moment with that system. So the VAR's in. Coulter-Nile's into Kohli. Lets it go outside off stump. Just knows where his off stump is better than most.
And this is a good matchup. Nathan Coulter-Nile's had some success against Virat Kohli. He's just bowled the 4th or 5th stump line. Aaron Finch has put a 3rd or 4th slip in, trying to get him driving away from his body. As we're just looking at the replay of Nathan Coulter-Nile, it was a cross-seam delivery that just bounced a fraction on Rohit Sharma.
Yeah, that cross-seam tactic's used a fair bit by the Aussies. He's in again, right at Kohli's off stump. He works it to mid-on. So there's a wide slip employed, just to stop that run to third man early on.
Just seeing the replay there, it's quite a lazy shot, wasn't it?
Bumped a little bit, it was lazy.
Something you don't expect from Rohit Sharma is when he normally gets in, he normally goes on and gets hundreds.
57, Rohit Sharma. If you've just joined the coverage on Macquarie Sports Radio, thanks to Booking.com, let's make it happen. Coulter-Nile just made it happen. He got the first wicket, caught Carey. Outside off again. He just seems to have generated a little bit more pace, up to 134 clicks. At the end of the 23rd, India are 1 for 127.
I had a wedding on yesterday afternoon.
How'd you go on the dance floor, Jimmy?
Hey,
do you up?
Do you know what I did? And it was absolutely genius. So, you know, after the father of the bride dances, and they go, everyone up, bang, straight up. 30 seconds in, grabbed one of her friends, go, here, dance with Nadia. But everyone saw me up on the dance floor. Towards the end of the night, I did last song, got up there. Everyone thought I was on the dance floor the whole entire night. Maxed out 1 minute.
Oh, good. Breakfast with Mark Levy, Mark Riddell, and Jimmy Bartell on Macquarie Sports Radio.
Well, out of nowhere, the Aussies have got the breakthrough. Fantastic, much needed by Nathan Coulter-Nile. He gets his first wicket of the World Cup. Caught behind, it was a big one. Rohit Sharma, lazy little dab, 57 from 70 for him. India are still well placed with the great Virat Kohli just joining them. He's 0 off 3. And Dhawan, 67 off 65. He's been the real prime mover at the moment.
Yeah, he's being fantastic, Shikhar Dhawan. This is the big one we're coming for, though. This partnership right now, if this doesn't get going, Australia are just going to peg it back to where they'll feel comfortable.
Rahul next, Jadhav, Dhoni and Hardik, Pandya, the rest of the batting lineup. Still got some powerful players to come. Not quite at the halfway stage. The leg spin of Zampa to continue. Full ball. Dhawan straight down the ground. One bounce. It'll just be chopped off inside. Nathan Lyon's actually on the field. So he's fielding down at the long off boundary. I thought off the bat, Hodgie, that it might have gone all the way, but he didn't get a good piece. It was a bit of a top spinner from Zampa, and Dhawan advanced and lifted it straight over his head.
Yeah, it looked that way. It looked like it was travelling into the stadium, into the seats, but didn't get a hold of it. Still remaining positive, Shikhar Dhawan.
Scampered back for 2. It's a nicely pitched leg spinner. Dhawan works it into the leg side. Just the one this time as the captain retrieves.
Well, I'm looking forward to this matchup because he's had some success against him in India, Zampa, and he'll be confident with that as well. To put some pressure. Aaron Finch will put in a slip now and put a little bit of pressure on their captain.
Yeah, I think there's a great opportunity to bring everyone up, actually. Just leave probably a deep square leg. Really put some pressure on right now. Say, righto, we're coming to get you, Skip. Game on.
Well, if Australia to be successful, stating the obvious, they need to dismiss this man relatively early, because we know once he gets going, his conversion rate is as good as there is. So he's going to face Adam Zampa, the leg spinner, as Darren Lehman has told us, has had a little bit of success against Virat Kohli. There's a slip in place and a backward point. Zampa's in now. Well bowled. Leg spinner landed nicely on off. Might have just been a toppy again and twisted back towards Kohli. No run.
Oh, it's a good move. There's 6 men inside the circle, so pressure from Aaron Finch.
You asked for it, Hodgie, and your good mate Aaron Finch delivered. So numbers in the ring. Zampa is up. Full pitch. Kohli, full face, just pushing it into the gap between cover and backward point, and he gets off the mark with an easy single.
It's one of those danger times, isn't it? You want to make sure you're trying to get him Kohli. You don't even let him settle, do you?
No.
Yeah. Once he gets in, he just manipulates the game so well. So, Coulter-Nile, good matchup. Keep him going for a couple. Then go back to Cummins. Go to the guys that are going to try and get these two out.
Well, Cummins is the other one that's got a pretty good record against Virat Kohli. So that might be in the back of Aaron Finch's mind as Zampa pitches outside off this time, and Shikhar doing it nicely now. 70. He knocks that one down to mid-off for an easy single.
It's really hard as a captain to try and work out how you're going to pan things out, because if you do bowl your trumps too early and you don't yield any rewards, you're going to find yourself in trouble at the back end. But you've got to get them out. It's a hard thing to judge.
Zampa again to Kohli, full on middle and leg, and knocked down the mid-on. So no run. End of the 24th over. India are 1 for 132. Nathan Lyon's on the field, gentlemen. We'll just have to have a look around the field here and see. You spot, Hodgie, who Nathan Lyon's come on for?
No, I didn't see that. It's probably just trying to get himself in the eyes of the skipper, saying, I'm a chance, buddy, further on down the track. But I've been particularly impressed with the comeback of Adam Zampa. 4 overs, none for 29. Didn't start well at all. Bowled a couple of
14 off his first, Hodgie.
Yeah, a couple of rank half looseners, and he looks like he's switched right onto this game now, this contest. He knows that Virat Kohli's the big one, got a good record against him. He stepped up nicely.
So into the middle phase of the game, 24 overs complete. Normally the batting side just build at 4s and 5s to keep wickets at the back half. Down the leg side, dive by Carey. Big appeal, might have been thigh pad. It was a nice take by Alex Carey. He's shaking his head. He's saying, I think it was the thigh pad. So I don't think we're going to use the Matildas VAR or the DRS or the review or whatever we use these days.
You get excited when a keeper takes a ball like, don't you?
I do.
You better calm down, mate.
When Shy Hope took that one the other night, he jumped through the mic.
You know what, Boof? Chuck would have called for the DRS just so he can watch himself on the big scoreboard again anyway, to have a look at the ability of the keeping.
Not very nice, Brad, but probably true as Darwin cracks one through the offside. Cummins slips over again. He's on ice skates out in the deep. And a single this time.
Well, it's a nice little period for the Australians here. They've just cut back the scoring opportunities. You saw that the Indians were just starting to put the hammer down. Seen a few changes from Aaron Finch. Nathan Coulter-Nile looks like he's hitting the bat harder than he was earlier on in the game. Zampa's found his line and length.
Coulter-Nile in again to Kohli. Nice, solid in defence. Just knocks it into the offside, into the gap between cover and point. So the man in the deep, Mitchell Starc, for a single.
For our listeners there, they've got a wider field. They're trying to make him cover drive as such and get him caught in that gully backward point area, much like he did against South Africa. But what a beautiful time with the ball is. He's got so much time and placement. His defensive shot then went to deep point.
Amazing. I think one of the things you talk about when Virat Kohli is try and cut off both sides of the ground. He might punish you, but
Darwin squirts into the offside off Coulter-Nile, no run, fielded by Maxwell.
But if you give him the opportunity to dictate where he wants to hit the ball, because as you mentioned, Darren, he's just got so much time and so elegant, and he can just place the ball where he wants. So if you can limit the damage on one side, it's generally a theory that, let's just keep with that tactic and try and see how long it lasts for. He's going to get on top of you, after a while, because bowling wide of the off stump generally doesn't work for too long, but it's just to see how long he can actually prolong it.
Coulter-Nile thumps it into the surface again. Shikhar times it nicely. Squeezes one to mid-off just for a single. Fielded by David Warner. 1 for 135 as the Indians continue to build. What do you think, Buff? Halfway stage? 260, 270 sort of vicinity? Or are they going to push towards 300?
Sorry, mate. I'm watching Sam Kerr about to take a penalty for the Matildas.
Fair enough. That's a pretty important one. You watch that.
I'll watch that for our listeners.
I'll call this delivery and tell me the result of the penalty. Coulter-Nile off pace, smacks it through the offside. Buff and Brad Hodge are excited. They got the telly on. I can't see it. So tell me what happened.
Don't worry about it. It was eventful. They got a single for our listeners there, but the Matildas have scored. Absolutely scored the penalty, but mucked it up. The goalkeeper stopped it. Sam Kerr followed it in and actually dropped. She's showing the replay of the penalty there on the screen for our listeners, but she's hit it straight to the bottom left corner. The keeper stopped it. She's followed up and kicked it on the left. And she's run to the corner post as she should. Australia 1-0 up.
So the Matildas.
What's happening in the cricket?